informational, commentary, and research purposes. All rights belong to their respective owners. No copyright infringement is intended.
Hello. Can you hear me? Chat. Hi. Welcome, everybody. This is Kashi Chris from Mindforked. And why am I dressed up is just because. And I wanted to make sure that my guests who are backstage could always say that they got interviewed by a vampire. That was so funny. And I am alone right now, but my people are backstage. And I'm so excited. Welcome on this lovely Wednesday. And I'm just getting things rolling. I'm a little bit behind today. It's been a heck of a day. Oh my God, I see some peeps in the chat. I'm so excited. Timmy, Diane, Boss, Curious George. I saw BMR earlier. Just want to say hi real quick. My lovely guests. So I hope you guys are ready for a fun evening of Bigfoot, because I have, I don't even know how many years of experience I have sitting backstage right now that have been out there looking for Bigfoot for so many years and really studying the science of Bigfoot. And my gosh, I have so many pictures. Tonight, we're going to be doing show and tell. Terry's going to be doing sounds of Bigfoot. We have a special guest. Peter Gutilla from Dorothy Isaac Project is here with us tonight. He was in Capturing the Light. So you guys are just in for a treat. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce these guys. So are you guys ready? Chat? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? So first, a lifelong experiencer, investigator, and storyteller who's pulled the curtain back on UFO encounters and high strangeness and Bigfoot across the decades. Without further ado, Mr. Terry. Oh, Terry, hold on. I'm behind on my applause. Where's my applause? Here we go.
Hey, I'll applaud for myself. I'll just clack my teeth together.
I got groupies. In the back. They're like cheering you right now. So welcome, Terry. Hold on.
I'm clacking. I'm clacking.
You're clacking.
I'm clacking for myself.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that was a thing. I know about snapping. But okay, so second, a world-class martial artist, actor, and philosopher of the unseen, a man who brings both discipline and depth to the mysteries we explore. Mr. Tom Muzilla.
Hello. Nice to be here, guys. So
excited. The groupies are so excited. The groupies. Can you hear the groupies? The groupies are back there. They're just, yay! Yes. They're just so excited for these boys. And
for Tom and me, it's nice to be anywhere.
Well, yes. We're just so happy that Anywhere is here with us. So, and then I can't leave this guy back there. Hold on. We have third, a legendary researcher and author whose investigations have taken him from haunted canyons to secret archives. The man who's been chasing truth long before it was trending, Peter Gutilla. Peter Gutilla, he's here.
All right. That's me.
There he is.
And I've got a lot to say. Nothing, but no, I've been on the search for a long time.
Well, Peter and I.
There's the groupies.
Yeah.
Sam Friedman introduced me to Peter and to Bobby Slade in 1970.
Yep, that's right. I met Tom shortly about that time, matter of fact.
Yeah, yep. Right out after I got his service.
Yeah.
Remember with Richard Spurney?
Oh, yeah. Of course. I liked Professor Spurney. I did.
Yeah.
I wrote his book, you know.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Professor Carl
Okay,
Spurney.
well,
Yes.
Well,
let me
I've got a
say
book
hi to
about
a couple of
Bigfoot too.
people. Let me say hi to a couple of people, and then I want to get going. I want to really make sure that you guys set the stage of how you really came together, the trifecta.
Okay.
Gutilla, Albright, and Muzilla. But first of all, I want to say hi to
Boy, I'll tell you, best in the
Diane
business.
Boss. I know
Yeah.
they're fantastic. Curious George is in the house. Home is where the stream is, he says. Stephen A is here. Diane Boss is here. Marcel. He's so great. Marcel loves us and we love him. And then Tim Freestone is in the house. We're so excited to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. And Bigfoot Michigan Rob was here earlier. So hopefully he'll drop by later. He's huge. You guys have to meet Bigfoot Michigan Rob. You will love him. So let's set the stage, guys. How did this trifecta of love?
Oh, what? No. Yes. Well, I've known Tom and Terry for many years. They're very close friends. They've been with me up north in Canada, Washington, Oregon, and I love them both. They've been good friends for a long time. And they are
Yep.
truly experts. Truly.
And we have to be good friends because we had to put up with each other for all this time.
Yeah, pay no attention. None whatsoever. Because all these Johnny come latelys aren't worth a spit. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
It's all it's all A and I. Crap. But I'd like to
Before,
find somebody that
You're right.
actually goes into the field. Go into the
yes.
field. Go with me once. I'll
Yeah,
take you out there.
they'd never forget it if they go out with us. It would be an experience of a lifetime for them.
Yeah. Before this, Terry and I didn't exist. Peter created us so we could do all this.
That's all right. Those two are the best in the business, I can tell you. But the Johnny come latelys that are on the clips now, I have nothing good to say, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to insult them. But I'll tell you this, most of them are into fallacious nonsense. They keep
Well,
coming up with, yeah.
and you can never tell these days what's AI and what's legitimate.
Well,
Even
true.
even with the UFO stuff, you never can tell what's real
Oh
and what's
man,
not.
I'd rather spend 5 minutes with Tom Muzilla, okay, than or you, Terry, than any of those Johnny come latelys. You're the best in the field. That's it. Best. Need I
Well,
Well,
say it
here's
better?
guess who we learned from, Mr. Peter Gatilicus.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I taught
Because we
everybody
learned from
everything
you.
because I wanted to share it with you. And boy, you guys came through with a wild thud. Thank you.
Well, the times that we spent around the campfire are times that I don't know how you could possibly duplicate it today. What we did and the places we went and the
Oh,
people we met. Oh, and
I know, brother.
and
I
the
know.
critters we saw. The critters we saw. Oh my lord!
Yes, I know. I remember. I had such an exciting time because several times, Bigfoot came very close to me. In
Yeah.
fact, I feel very close to Bigfoot. but
It,
but
Exactly.
I know he's there. He's in the woods. Just leave him alone. That's what I have to tell people. Leave him alone. Don't shoot. Don't throw knives and all kinds of stuff. Just leave him alone. He won't
and they'll
hurt you.
and Peter's been visited at his house where he lives now, which is right in urban San Bernardino area.
No, let me tell you, I don't believe a word these people say. They can trump it all up, and most of them do. And they end up in conflicts of one form or the other. And I don't like that. I've been with people all my life, and I've had only a few that I've had any conflict with, but the rest, none. I've gotten
Well,
along with everybody.
Gatilla and Muzilla and myself never steal from each other. Everybody else,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
else steals everything.
Right.
They
Yeah.
don't give you. They
True.
don't give you credit.
That's right.
Now
No,
I want to go.
Sad but true.
yeah. Yeah.
Now
Listen,
I
you guys
want
are
to.
best in the
I want to.
business.
I want to go somewhere, Peter, with you that you do not know.
Oh,
We've
let's
been
do
keeping.
it. I'm
We've
ready.
been. No. Right now, we've kept a secret from you. Did you know we kept a secret from you?
Yeah.
No.
Well, we have got something here at the house that you and I have been looking for 10 years.
Yeah.
Are
I
you
know.
ready? Are you ready to see? Are you ready to see it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Okay. Can
Hold on.
you, Chris? Can you pull up the picture?
I'm going. Hold on. I'm going. I am going. Hold on. I had the Bigfoot one stage. Give me a second. Hold on.
If you can't find it right away, I can go with my phone over to the table. Let me know.
That's all right, brother. I know.
You don't have to move your stuff.
You're a good guy. I know
These
only the best
pictures-
in the business.
There you go.
Yes,
Now,
here we go. You
Now they can
recognize
say what they like.
these? Hold on.
she's looking for the picture of our surprise for you, Peter.
Well,
Oh.
I don't have that picture. I have these pictures. You see,
Oh,
is it the tapes? Is it the tape? I don't. And now I'm confused. I had a long day, Terry.
Okay. Hang on a minute, Chris.
Look at
I'm going to
that.
go to the table.
Show him your side.
Oh, what's that?
Show the table. Bring on the table. Hold on. I'm going to take this down. Bring on the table there, buddy.
Oh,
I'm going to the table.
Oh God,
Here we go.
man, you look
Peter,
good.
Here's something
It's
that you have
Terry
been
on the
looking
run.
for. Here's something you've been looking for with me
Oh
for 15
God, what?
Hold on. I'm going to
15
make
years.
you.
Are you
Hold
ready?
on.
Oh
Hold on.
God,
Hold on.
you don't mean
Here
that
you go.
stuff.
There we go.
Oh man, fantastic! You got the skull. Good
that.
for you.
The skull. I had
I
that
got
picture.
all the stuff.
Oh yeah,
All
footprints.
the stuff. We even got
I
the
see,
poop.
brother. You got them from Disney, from Knott's Berry Farm, didn't you?
No, I had to chase down.
Oh,
I had to find Ranger Sue, who now lives in Florida, and $600 later, she had everything sent to me that she can find. She still thinks she has a few things.
God.
Can you
Yeah,
see
I'd like to
everything?
see some of that myself.
Can
I
you
saw
see
it originally, but
Can you see
Yeah.
the stuff, Peter?
yeah, I got the original footprint, by the way, on the wall from Jerry
That's
Crew. Yeah.
Bigfoot Duty.
There,
Oh
there's
yeah,
there's
look
gigantic
at
Bigfoot
that.
Angus
Duty,
himself.
right?
Oh, I like those big bones coming out of his head.
And
That's
here's
nice.
Sasquatch. This is
Yeah,
Sasquatch, the
beautiful.
Apes Among Us. And
Oh,
John,
beautiful,
John,
man.
John Green wrote up my sighting in this book.
I'll have to
So-
send you some money.
Ha!
I gotta see
Well,
those things.
I'm not worried about any of that. I just next time I come to California, I'm going to bring it. So
Oh, good.
just
Good
sit
for
tight.
you, brother.
Oh yeah. I want you
Yeah.
to have it. I
And
want
then
you to
let's
have
go somewhere. What do you say?
Let's go out to the desert and find him.
Let's go to the desert, huh? I want to go
Well-
back to Edwards.
How about Sycamore Flats?
Yeah, that'd be good. I like Sycamore. Yeah, that's a nice place.
And Big Rock
I
Campground.
remember that. I remember. Yes, I do.
Remember when we were there with Bobby and the thing streamed at us
Yes,
across the
I
valley?
remember. Yeah,
Oh man,
that was
wild.
a good time. I went
Oh,
up the
man.
mountain on my shoes, street shoes, and nearly fell on my butt. But yeah, I went all the way up, and there they were, a little cluster of coons.
What do you guys think about what
Yeah.
No, I mean we had a good time, brother.
pictures?
Yeah,
there's-
look at that. That looks
Funny.
good. What is that?
About
that's
hold on.
Bobby.
Let's go from the beginning.
That's
Is that
Oh,
that's
that's
the
Bobby and
cutout.
me. Yeah.
Those are the
Yeah.
those are the
I
guys
see
that
ya.
those are the guys from Universal that I
Yeah,
introduced
I
Bobby
see ya,
to,
brother.
and then
hold on?
Peter and I and Tom, we all chased around with her, and she didn't even say thank you.
Yeah,
You know,
I
she broke the
remember.
book.
Let me tell you, that was a time. That was a time. I remember that. And you know what's interesting about that time is that there were sightings all over Willow Creek. And
Yeah.
the local people looked at me like I had a wart, but I was telling them the truth. There's a Bigfoot out there somewhere. And the guy who believed me was the head of that. Oh, I can't think of his name now. Darn it.
The campground. Oh, Al Hodgson, the
Oh,
head of
Al Hodgson.
that owns the
Yes, of
store.
course. I
Al,
remember him. And
I
also,
found
the guy who took me out on the train, that truck for the Rangers. I went out there with him. Trying to think of his name. I'm sorry.
you know, I just
I'm
found
losing my mind.
I just found an interview tape from Al Hodgson, and I went up
Oh
there. I,
yeah, he was.
I went
Oh
up
yeah,
there. I went up
yep,
there with Finding Bigfoot, and when
yep.
I went up there, I went in to see Al Hodgson, who had. I mean,
Yeah, I remember.
but we had dealt with Al Hodgson. He loved the twins. We
Yeah,
bought boots from him, and I went
yeah,
up there with Finding Bigfoot, and he could not remember that, and
yeah.
I felt
You know,
so bad.
they gave me a truck. The Rangers gave me a truck to drive, and I went up the mountain where I heard the screams coming from, and went up there and looked around, found footprints, but that was it. There was no sign of Bigfoot anywhere, but I did hear him. There was definitely that.
Well, I've got
Uh,
I've got uh, I've got a whole slew of tapes that I'm still working on digitalizing. I kind of had
oh,
a I had a
beautiful,
health
baby.
well I had a
Yeah,
health issue, so I kind of dropped the ball on some of that. But
yeah,
I've got
yeah.
I've got the picture. Can you find the picture of all the tapes on the table, Chris? That I sent
Hold
you?
on.
You
Yep.
can find
Hold
that
on.
as we're
Yeah.
talking.
Hold on.
As we're
Yeah.
talking.
Just. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But that
that's good.
I
that
will
Yeah,
picture
find
yeah.
it.
I
that
remember that.
picture that
Yep.
picture that you have up, Chris, that is right
Mm-hmm.
on the road next to Sycamore
Yeah,
Flats.
I remember.
Yeah, we're
Absolutely.
Hold on a second.
What about you, Tom? Say a little
Yeah,
something about your. Please.
first the best thing Peter was way ahead of his time, way back in the 70s. When all this stuff was
Yeah.
happening, and it's still all these other Bigfoot hunters out there, supposed hunter. Even John Green, he was very physical, and he just felt like uh, we'd have to kill a creature to prove it's alive. But then all of us three here started sensing that there was something more extraterrestrial, more quantum,
Yeah.
more
Absolutely.
like an entity, and they'd
Yep.
appear and disappear, and they're just
Yep.
crazy stuff. So Peter was the first one to have that concept when everybody was
I was
saying
convinced.
they didn't believe it at all.
Yeah.
well, yeah, and Peter hooked up UFO and Bigfoot, and Stanton Friedman. We told Stanton Friedman about it, and Stanton goes, "Don't
Yes,
Right.
I
don't
did.
bother me
Uh,
with more than one enigma at a time."
yeah, I
There you
was the
go.
first one. I
There,
was.
Peter. There's all the tapes.
Oh boy. Wow. That's good.
I'm
Well,
doing all this.
gentlemen.
I've got some put on one cassette that I'm gonna be using tonight,
Oh.
so we'll be able to hear some screams pretty
Oh,
soon.
please do.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
you'll. I got the I got
Yes.
the
For
I got the Puyallup
I'm going to
screams.
start here from the beginning.
I've got this.
I'm
I've,
sorry,
I've
darling.
got I've
Uh,
got
oh.
Snohomish. I've got Puyallup. I've got a whole bunch of
Yep.
different ones. I've even
Yep.
got. Oh, there we
Yep.
are on the trail.
Yep. Yep. You know, I got a photograph of Jerry Crew holding the first Bigfoot footprint that
Yes.
started it all.
Yeah, yeah, old
I
Jerry.
do. Well, I like Jerry. I met him, and I liked the ranger that was up there because I'm trying to think of his name. He gave me a truck. I I actually drove myself up around the mountains up there and didn't find Bigfoot, but we did find prints. They were there, and I don't know what to say about that. But
Well,
creatures come and go.
well,
Bigfoot
I think
dwarf
that
is in
they,
the house. Hi, Bigfoot dwarf. Go ahead. Sorry. Keep going.
I think that they probably travel from up in Northern California and above that even,
Yep,
all the
you're
way
right.
down through Southern California, and
Yep,
God knows
right,
probably to Mexico. You guys
right.
listen, for a minute.
Oh man,
I'll play
you know,
one of the screams for you guys.
yeah,
And
they
for
move
the
so fast. That's the problem.
He's
They
gonna
move.
play a scream. He's gonna
Uh,
play a scream for you.
oh, yeah.
okay,
Let's hear it.
okay, listen up, guys. Here comes a scream.
The
Okay.
Bigfoot, 1973, Puyallup, Washington.
Ha ha ha. That's it. Yep. Ha ha ha. Yep. Whoop whoop. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Ha ha ha. Yeah, they're loud. Ha ha
And
ha.
you
Beautiful.
know, I can do a whole bunch of those. I've got a whole tape full of different screams from
Oh
various
yeah.
parts of the
Oh, that's
country.
good.
So
That's
what I'm
good.
gonna
I
do,
tried
I'm
that
gonna
once.
I'm what I'm
Well,
gonna
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find all the different. I've got like 10 different screams on this one tape, and so I'll go through as we're talking, and
Yeah. I
I'll
like to
locate.
hear it, brother.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
Bring it
thinking,
with
I'm
you.
gonna
here.
be. Do you want me to keep showing pictures and then maybe you can do some screams? Yeah.
I'm
Oh
sorry,
ho ho ho. That's
I didn't
it.
mean for that. Didn't mean for that to
Oh
Love.
happen.
no, I want to hear that. That was really cool. Play that
Okay,
again.
here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. Love. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Yep. Ha ha
and
ha.
That's
Boy,
right
I've
off
Pe-
of
heard that many
Washington.
times.
Well,
It's
Peter,
like a whoop. Ew.
you remember we had that one tape that had elk, it had big bird, coyote, wolves,
Oh yeah.
screeching, all this different, and then we would stick a Bigfoot yell in the middle, and certain witnesses that claimed that
Yep.
they had heard it before, we could tell if it was authentic, if they picked the original Bigfoot sound.
Oh man, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember, brother.
Yes.
I
well,
it's
You
weird
you
because
were
you
very
guys
close
probably
to it
can
all.
tell, right? Those little the little barks, can you guys tell like very distinctively what that is?
well, they do so many different things because they mimic humans a lot of times. They'll
Yes.
hear us and they'll mimic us. It sounds just like us. Like
Yeah.
and
You
sometimes
know,
Mm.
yeah,
coyote yelps
yeah.
and
I'll
they
tell you, I
whistle.
remember when we were camped at a place up there near Willow Creek, and I saw the big bird, and it just flew around without moving its wings in a circle above us. And my wife
Mhm.
said, "Do you see that?" And I said, "Yeah, what is that?" And then I found out later on that the local Indians called that the Thunderbird, where people died and went to the Thunderbird.
Mhm.
Oh, really? I was dumbfounded, but I
Yeah,
was
it
sleeping
almost
in
looked
my.
like a pterodactyl or
Oh
something.
yeah, it was
Well,
just like
Prehistoric.
it was.
well,
They didn't move their wings. They were just circling
Yeah,
around us.
Peter,
collide.
Peter, I saw something like that up there one time, and I thought it was a mosquito.
Yeah, that'll do it.
They were big. They would carry you off they'd take you home and eat you. They wouldn't eat you there.
I know.
but
Agony.
but
But you
we
know,
would,
we had so many experiences out there.
Yeah.
oh
And
Lord. Oh Lord.
yeah,
Well, I've got a picture of Tom at Bluff Creek, and then I've got a
yep,
picture of it when you and I were up there later, and the
yep.
thing had changed totally.
Oh,
It
ho,
was a
ho, look at that. That's a good one.
totally different.
Footprint.
She there's a good print. That's one that
That's a good one.
Yep,
I think
that's a
I
good
think
one.
that came from Washington, if I remember right.
Yep,
And
I see it. Yeah, that's a good
a
one.
lot of these people would
Yeah. Well,
when we
Tom
had
can
the
tell you a
when
lot
we
about that. He was with me when I went up there, and we both had some kind of experience or the other. I mean, I followed a UFO. I got lost in the woods actually, and I was traveling along a road, and I looked up, and there was a UFO above us, and it was moving slowly and following me, and then it went right over the mountains toward the hotel where it stopped. And that was the hotel we had already applied for. It
Mm.
was interesting. I mean, they were guiding me there, I think, and we found it.
wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised if they were knowing you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was one of those days, but every day we had up there was wonderful. I mean, Tom will tell you, we just went up there hiking all along, and it was wonderful. We could
And
feel it,
Peter,
sense it.
Peter,
Yeah,
you remember drove back that old logging road and we went to that Deer Lick Lake,
yeah. Oh,
and that
yeah,
was so far back in the woods,
yeah,
hardly any humans have ever been there. And
yeah.
we saw a scuffle. It looked like a Bigfoot had gotten a scuffle with a bear. Remember on the
Oh
tracks? It
God,
was
yeah,
bear
I
tracks
believe it.
and
Yeah.
Bigfoot tracks.
Oh, yeah, I remember. That was a good one, Tom, and
Yeah,
I remember that time. You were picking up on a lot out there, and so was I. I mean,
yeah.
I was
Well,
looking at things all the time. Go
that's
ahead.
something
We have
we
people in the
probably should.
chat that want to hang out with you. I'm just quick, and you guys continue with your chat, but I just want to tell you there's a lot of people in the chat just loving this conversation and wanting to
Well,
hang out with you at Bluff Creek. We got Willow Creek as Bigfoot Dwarf is, we got a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
Bigfoot fans. We got
Yep.
Curious George, wish I were there. I would use a penetrometer on the soil to see the pressure. This is an instrument to measure pressure
Yep.
on the soil. So and tell us about what
Mhm.
you guys use. But I just wanted to tell you that people are loving this conversation. So please
Yeah.
continue.
we should
Oh
we
man.
should tell
Yeah.
we should talk about how when we get into an area, how we sensitize to be able to pick up on stuff like what's going on, and we pick up on a lot of stuff. At one
Yeah.
time, we were out at El Mirage Dry Lake with Peter and Tom, and we were sensitizing, and I walked over to a rock and laid my hands on the rock, and I literally broke into a big bawling cry spell. I
Oh, I
couldn't.
remember that. I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, you were right there. And Tom came over, and Peter came over. They started rubbing my back. Go, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. And I go,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I'm not okay at
God.
all.
Yeah, that was the time we went to Edwards Air Force Base, and we drove up
Yes.
on that ship or airplane jet that went straight down into the ground, and it was buried up to its cockpit, straight down. I have
Wow.
no idea what that was, but then I talked to local air policemen who told me that they were told that there's a creature out here. Leave it alone. Yeah, and I remember that. And
Well,
they
Peter,
huh?
there were some air police that actually expended
Yep,
40 or 50 rounds on
I know. That's
a
right.
critter. That might be
Yep,
a good story to relate to the people. They probably haven't ever heard that.
I remember. That was an interesting case too, because these Marines, they were stunned. I don't blame them. I'd be stunned too. I mean, if I didn't believe in it, but they just had no idea what they were encountering up there. And, there was a creature right there in the highway, and it ran
Well,
across the highway right in front of them. And
yeah,
as a matter of
Peter,
fact, the driver
didn't
was so
somebody?
stunned, he skidded off the road. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
didn't it,
remember that.
somebody?
Yeah.
They found some tracks, and the thing
Yeah,
was like running, and
that's
the
right.
stride
They
was
did.
like 23 feet, and it
Oh,
leaped right across
man.
the highway.
Yeah.
23 feet?
Yeah,
Stride. The stride was 23
Right.
feet.
huge stride.
God. Oh, I remember that.
So it was
Wow. No,
probably
I
jogging.
understand, but that's crazy.
Oh, I remember
Well,
when
that's
Should have been there.
we were
that
looking at
That's
footprint.
like,
That one
what
large
happened.
footprint.
Yeah, we were
That
looking at something out there. What was that?
well,
We as I was looking out there, a screw came out of the ground. Some kind of
yes,
a screw.
yeah.
Yeah, it went straight up, spinning, then went down. I have no
That
idea what
was
that
this.
was.
That was
I I thought
that
it
was
was a
the same
UFO, but
night.
maybe not. I don't know.
That was
Yeah,
the same night when we had found the tank tracks, and we figured they must
yeah.
be Rich Grumley's
I
tank
know. God,
out there
yeah.
running around the
We blamed
desert.
the rich with everything. Yeah, I know. I remember that. Yeah,
Well, and then
that poor
we
guy.
invited him. We invited him up to be on Geraldo
Yeah,
Rivera's show, and
yeah.
he was so impatient he couldn't wait 10 minutes, so he didn't get to be on the show.
That poor
We
guy.
we
I don't know.
we
He was so confused then. I don't know if he's any better now, but
well,
interesting guy. Yeah.
I
And
don't even know if Grumley's still alive. Is he?
no, I don't know.
No.
I lost contact with him. But
I
then
did
again,
too,
I
but I
lost
was
contact. Well, I've lost contact with everybody, really.
well.
I'm getting older and everybody else is getting old. So what can I say? I mean,
Well,
they look at
curious
me
I
like
di-
George
I've got a
wants,
wart.
I
we
died
got a
5 years ago,
question.
so
Yeah.
Why do you see footprints on the highway? Says
Yeah.
Curious George.
Yeah.
now now
Theater.
But
that
I
Chris
know.
was so
Well,
funny. Peter,
oh, oh,
almost every time we go up, we'd run into John Green, and a
yep.
couple times we ran
Yeah,
into
Renee the
Renee the
Hinden. I
Hinden.
know. We knew
Remember?
them all. Bob Titmus. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, I know. You
well
sat there
John Gr-
throwing pebbles at Renee the Hinden.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, that was quite a time too. I knew
Yeah.
well
John Green. Well, I did know John Green well.
Oh
well
yeah.
I've got interview tapes of John Green, Peter, that you did of John Green,
Yep. No, I
and
knew him. I knew Renee Hinden and Bob Titmus. They were all
Yes.
original Bigfooters, and they were friends of mine. I knew them all.
well
And yeah, go ahead.
they were the real deal. Well, and John Green, I was in his book, and I think Peter probably is the one that told him about me and my sighting. But then later on, when I was working on Harry and the Hendersons, I loaned Steven Spielberg all of my John Green books to use in the movie. Those are the books that you see in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
John,
went to that studio. I really did. And they looked at me like I was nuts. And then
well,
I
and
left.
well,
Yeah,
and
no, they were fine. They just listened to me, friendly.
but but I was talking to John Green later, and he said, "Hey, can you get me some kind of payment for
I
them
know.
using my books?" And I tried a
Oh,
couple times. I just gave up. They
no,
weren't about
he
to.
was a good guy, that man. Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah.
John
And
Green.
Peter, you
He
remember what John used to tell us every time he'd go on an exhibition? The first day at night he got there, the Bigfoot, would scream across the valley. But always knew when
yeah,
he was there.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, God, that's when you were hiding behind that bush. I walked right past you and I stopped and looked, and there you were in the bush.
Yep, of course. Yeah.
Well,
well,
I was in the bush too. if you know what I
Well,
mean.
they don't call us Bushmen for nothing.
Oh, nah, I'm too old for that shit now. But I want to go out with you though one of these days. And
Look what
there's a
she's
picture.
look what
There's a
she's got
picture.
up now. There's
That's me.
Peter,
Look at that guy right there. Look at that
and
guy.
there's Ron. There's Ron
Yeah,
Bailey.
yeah, Ron Jacobs. Or what was
Ron
his
Oh,
Bailey.
name?
look at Terry over here. Hold on. Can't
There
forget to
I
show
am with
this
the hat
one over
on.
Yeah,
here.
I
Yep,
kind
little
of like
hippie
that
over here.
guy.
Bailey?
The
He
hippie.
couldn't take his finger off the trigger, but I kind of liked him.
Hey,
This guy
Peter and
right
Tom.
here, that's Terry.
Yeah,
Peter and Tom. Who was the blonde-headed kid that's right there in that picture?
yeah,
I
that little
cannot
short
remember
guy's
his
me.
name.
Yeah.
He
Oh
he
yeah.
reminds.
I went. Yeah. It's funny. I was just up there hiking, and I came over upon a group of deputies, sheriff deputies, and they were walking a line. They were looking for a killer up there of some sort, I guess. What they said, and I don't know. Nobody bothered me. I don't think, but I'll
Well,
tell you.
they probably
Yeah.
suspected you as being the killer.
Yeah. Before you go out there, be careful.
Come on.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep
yeah.
putting pictures up and you guys can tell me. So this is the famous, which one's Bobby?
Bobby
is that the famous
is a
Bobby from the
female.
book?
Oh yeah,
He's
that's
a-
Bobby
Oh,
there.
Bobby's a girl?
I
Bobby's
think.
a woman. She's a woman, and
Oh,
those are the
yeah.
three.
Who is that?
Those are
I
the
don't
three
know.
guys from
Oh,
Universal that I introduced Bobby
oh
to.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, I thought you said earlier that Bobby was in this
Yeah.
picture.
Well,
So I'm going to
Bobby
move
was
on
an
to
old
this.
friend of mine.
That's Willie Romerman and Brian Goldacharb and
Yeah,
Richard Ingalls.
that's where I
Oh,
met.
I'm gonna
Where
go
I
to this
met
one.
at her house. I met
Really?
Ricky Nelson and his two kids.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
Ricky
Ricky,
Nelson, like the actor Ricky Nelson, singer Ricky
like
Nelson?
yeah. Met
yeah,
him there.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Ricky
she was
Nelson.
well known. Yeah, she was
Ricky
well
Nelson.
known.
Ricky
Go ahead.
Nelson used to live right near Bobby, and
Yeah,
she.
I remember.
Well, in
I ran
fact,
into his two kids. I know his two children came over and kicked me in the leg.
oh,
Oh
Almost.
my God.
Anyway,
I hope you kicked them back.
yeah, I
Well,
was chatting with
some
him. I liked him.
something
But
kind
then
of
I liked
interesting.
Jonathan Winters too. He lived next door, a couple houses
Ah,
down. Yeah,
you all,
Jonathan Winters.
you're all
He lived.
crazy. You're all crazy.
Oh,
You know,
I'll tell you,
you know,
the death of
Bob,
Bobby was a big downer for me.
Bobby
Tell
lived
me about what she did. The phone call.
Bobby
I
lived
liked her. Oh, I got a
Bobby
phone
lived
call
in
from her.
Bobby
Listen to
lived
me.
in that neighborhood, and
Yeah,
right
one
across the
day.
street,
Yeah, one
right
day she
across.
called me, and I could barely hear her. And I thought she said, "I'm dead." And I said, "What?" And I tried to call back, but there was no answer there. And then I found out she died.
But didn't she say, I'm passing it on to you or something?
Yeah, passing it on to me. She said, "Well, it's all yours now, love."
Yeah. The
That
phone
sounds
Wait,
just
what?
it sounds
You
just like
heard
her
this
too.
before, like,
Yeah.
as she was
No, she
dead?
died.
She died.
Oh, it was awful.
You know.
Yeah, it shocked me out of my bloomers, if you know what I
The
mean.
subject's yours now,
Oh,
buddy.
I liked her a lot. She was a good friend. And she's
So,
gone.
so
Well,
that
she
left
died from
Vince.
alcoholism. Oh,
That left
well,
Vince.
apparently she
That
had a
left
Oh,
tendency to
that's
drink.
that left
I don't know.
Vince and Guy alone. So
Yeah,
that they would continue. They continued to call and talk,
yeah.
but it wasn't anything like when Bobby was there. You know.
No,
right.
I know. I know. Well, she was around a
I am
lot in
gonna
the
keep.
early days. I remember. Yeah, we went
You know
along
some.
that.
I got
Yeah,
a
we
story.
went up.
I got a story. I've got to tell you guys. You know, Bobby lived right
Mhm.
there in that neighborhood where I lived. I was only a block away from her, and
Yeah,
she introduced me to June Nelson. And I thought David and June, and so I ended up
yeah, David. No,
babysitting.
yeah,
I ended up babysitting for David and June. And then later, I was at Universal Studios having lunch, and this kid walked in, he was a Universal Studios security guard, and this is just after Rick Nelson had died in a plane crash, and he made some
Yeah.
comment about, oh yeah, I feel real
Oh,
bad because my uncle just died,
God.
and I went, wait a
Boy,
minute,
I remember that.
are
Yeah.
you David and June's son? And he goes, yeah, I'm their son. I said, I used to babysit for you. So
Yeah.
that was like 10 or 15 years
I
after.
know. I know. Boy, that got me too. Really did.
A lot
I
of
don't
stuff
know.
a lot of stuff happened in a short period of time, Peter and Tom.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I'm going to look for the next video or the next recording while you guys
Yeah.
talk a little bit. Okay?
Yeah.
I want Bigfoot sounds. I'm just showing pictures of some of the pictures that you're sharing with me, and different shots that people had sent to you, or ones that you've actually taken. So I'm just scrolling through while you do that.
A lot of
So,
them. Now,
so
some of these have been sent. We had lots sent to us
Oh,
when we had the 800 number,
I'll
and then
tell
we
you, man.
also a lot of
That
them
was a
have been
time.
sent on Kansas Bigfoot that I have on Facebook and also on Twitter. So a lot of
Yeah.
people send different things to us that we've gotten
You know,
over the
I
years. So
I went to the gun tower in Back to the Future, and I actually walked into the tower and looked around a little bit, and it was just nothing but an effective uh, what do you call it?
Special
Uh,
effects.
yeah, set.
a good
And
set, yeah. Which
oh
I
man,
built.
yeah.
That's the
Oh
set I
God,
built, Peter.
I like him though. I did
that's
like him.
right, because you did that, right? You worked on
Yeah,
that
I
set.
liked him. I liked
Okay.
Uh,
him. I liked that kid that played Wally or whatever his name was.
yeah,
Marty.
Yeah,
I worked
Marty.
with
Back
those
Back
guys.
to the Future. Yeah,
I actually did all three of those,
yeah.
and
You
I
know
was
that
I
Tom also knew Arnold Schwarzenegger.
oh,
Yes.
of course. Tom knows everybody.
Tom knows
Yeah,
so many
I kind of
people.
liked him too. I did.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Tom,
just know
what
them.
up
He
with
worked.
Arnold?
Now
Tell us
he's
He
about
doesn't just.
Arnold. Tell us an
He,
Arnold thing, Tom.
Yeah. I was started to work on a movie with them, Collateral Damage.
Yeah.
I was going to be in charge of all his security because we were shooting it in
Yeah.
Mexico.
I found the house that was in I forgot the name of that show. Bewitched.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I love
Yeah, I
Bewitched.
kind of like that place. I
I
looked
know.
around the house and it's really
But we're
nice.
getting I'm
Huh?
dying to talk Hollywood, but this is a Bigfoot show because we want to have a Hollywood show.
Yeah.
'Cause I want to
Oh,
talk.
well, I
Oh my
tell
God,
you,
I am
I
so.
know.
talk about
You
Bigfoot.
guys have so much history that I would be like just sitting there, just listening to all of your Hollywood stories, of your
Yeah,
tales, because I'm just fascinated by this. But
yeah.
so what is it?
Tom was in the movie business. He knows a lot of
Mhm.
actors, or did, right,
Yeah.
Tom?
Oh,
well, a lot of them
Uh,
were.
you know, I probably worked on 25 films, feature films, and from stunt coordinator to bodyguard, action, military advisor, and then a bodyguard. I probably bodyguard 150 celebrities, individually or group or whatever. So I've seen most everybody.
Yeah, good.
But I stayed away entertainment people. I
Yeah,
stayed away rappers and all that stuff.
yeah. I remember.
so
I know.
Tom, we've been talking so much, and I want to hear from you. So, how about your? Can you tell us a little bit about your first, like, your Bigfoot experience?
Okay, well,
What?
I have one. This is why Peter and Terry, we think this thing's more quantum or apparition or something, or tied into UFOs or portals or whatever, because we found a number of tracks that would be, tracks, and all of a sudden they just disappear. They just stop. They don't carry on anywhere.
That's
Number
right.
one.
Right.
And number two, one time I went up, I think we're close to Snohomish, remember, Peter? And
Yep.
I was with another friend of mine, Dennis Rumner,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's going to shoot the camera. I'm on a logging road, and I'm trying to get close to the creature. The creature's screaming like the tapes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly like the tapes. And I'm crawling on my belly trying to get, 30, 40 feet. And I was going to stand up, and he had a big 1,000 candle light and camera. So he's going to try to get me and the photo. And soon as he hit the light and camera, mid scream, the sound just stopped. It stopped, disappeared right mid screen. Soon as he hit the light,
Yep.
and
That's
within
it.
5 seconds, we hear it
That they
screaming
do.
about a half a mile away.
Yep. That
Wow.
they
Stuff
do.
like that. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
Peter,
Well,
have you?
something that I've been hearing more and more about are that Bigfoot will like disappear, and then
Yep.
there will be an orb appear
Yeah,
where the
right.
Bigfoot was.
That's right. Well, what's interesting was that I talked to a woman school teacher who was hiking alone up in the mountains, and she came upon a scarp in the side of the cliff, and she was looking at it, and suddenly Bigfoot popped its head out, looked around, and went back into the scarp. I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, it just amazed me because they disappear and appeared, but they went into
Yes.
the mountain. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. I know they
Well,
can."
That they
Who,
now,
Chris?
went into the mountain, like kind of disappeared into the mountain.
It's like they step into another dimension or
Hmm.
something.
now
Another
that's
thing
what
interesting, actual,
Oh yeah.
uh, Peter and Terry knew it. Daniel
Yep.
Boone had a sighting, and Davy Crockett had a sighting on his way to the Alamo. He was by himself, right?
Oh
He was by himself out in the woods, just camping and having some coffee. And he didn't say the creature walked out of the woods, it just appeared in front of him.
yeah. I know they do that.
Remember
I
that?
don't know how.
Appeared in front, and he watched for about a minute, and it turned around and disappeared.
Yeah.
well,
I had
That
no
the
idea
Nate.
David Crockett had an
that
experience.
happened to my wife. She was hiking. We were hiking, and she saw a Bigfoot right there in the woods, and she went after it. And as she was walking toward it, it just lumbered off over a fence, and then took a couple steps up, and she watched it vanish, boom, in
Wow.
the air.
You're
I don't
right.
know how they do it. I don't. I know they
Well,
can.
what the Native Americans say. They say that Sasquatch has its foot in both worlds,
Yeah.
so he can step in
Yep.
and out. We used to
Yep.
talk about this all the time, Peter and
Yep.
Tom and
I
I.
know. Uh, I have no idea how they do it, but they do it, and they get away with it.
Well, people are now starting to listen to all that stuff.
Yeah, I hope so.
They never
I
used to
hope
listen.
so.
They used to just laugh, and
Yeah,
I
they're
I
still
find
there, of course.
but I find it's the same thing now. You mention this to somebody and they're just like, yeah, right, you're an
Yep.
idiot.
No, no. They're real. They do odd things. They go in and out of reality. I think they actually use the dimensions somehow. I don't know how, but they do. And they go in and out of reality and vanish. They do it all the time. I've
Yes,
Well,
and
talked to several witnesses who've seen that happen.
this
you
might be a
Like
know,
good
vanish
time.
in front of their eyes, like, or was
Yeah, in
it
a
like they
flash of
were kind
light
of a
sometimes.
see through the whole time?
you know
It's
what?
sometimes
What's
in like
interesting,
a flash
Chris?
of light.
Like what
I don't
Peter's
know.
saying. What Peter's saying is that where there's a lot of UFO sightings, there happens to be a lot of Bigfoot sightings. And all kinds of other stuff. And like Peter's saying, there's like a portal. Some
Yeah,
portals go to a lower level dimension, different dimensions.
that's
Some
right.
higher level, like
Yeah,
Sedona. And it's like they manifest. They come through the
yeah.
portal sometimes.
Yep, they do. That's right. That's what I figure. And how they do it and why they do it, I don't know, but they
Yeah.
do.
Well,
And that's
Peter,
it. Now,
now'd
so if
be
you're
a good
going
time
after
to.
Bigfoot, you ain't going to find him, okay? He's going to vanish. Now, if he vanished, goodbye.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know.
Peter,
Eh.
now might be a good time to talk about Dorothy and her photograph of
Oh,
Sasquatch. on the UFO
Oh
that's
man,
that's
Dorothy
that's in the
Isaac was
book.
something else, man.
Because I
I
sent a
just love that. I love that
Hold
woman. I
on.
really did. And
I
I'm
Let
sent a
me
sorry she's
picture.
see
gone.
that.
Chris, you've got a
Uh,
picture of the
Yeah,
Bigfoot
I'm
on
trying to
the
remember which
UFO.
one that one. Yeah, hold on. I'm thinking.
It's
Hold on.
I
it's
was sitting in her living room, and
Is
I
it in
had
the,
with
but it
me,
was in
a,
the UFO file. Hold on. Go ahead. You guys talk
yeah.
amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go find the You're jumping around, man. I'm gonna go
Okay,
find the UFO file now. Hold on.
I love you too, baby.
oh,
Love you
No,
but
too,
how
anyway,
Peter.
I
but how
remember. I'll
but
tell
how
you.
in the world can we talk amongst ourselves? We'll have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, she was something else,
Nothing
man.
to say at all.
Uh,
Oh, here's
Oh,
a topic.
yeah.
Any progress in digitizing the Dorothy tapes since
No,
last we saw?
I could feel the vibration all around her when I went to her house in Canada. And I could feel it. I mean, it just was vibrating all over me, and people with me were saying, "Our feet are hot. Take our shoes off, quick!" So everybody took our shoes off, even me, because I could feel the heat in my socks. And then Dorothy said, "Well, they were here just a few minutes ago, and they like you." Oh, that's nice. I was happy to hear that. But boy, I'm telling you, I had so many experiences over there. I couldn't enumerate the times I had experiences with Dorothy. She was just
well,
really a wonderful lady. She
well,
was.
tell them how Stanton Friedman reacted, Peter.
Oh man, Stan Friedman. Yeah, I knew him well. He was a former NASA physicist, and I knew him well. He was my friend, and we talked a lot about UFOs and things going bump in the night, and he always had something interesting to tell me. I mean, he was convinced UFOs were real, no question about that. And he talked about it frequently, and he used to tell the press that too. They're real. Leave them alone. Don't hassle them. Just let them do their thing. Okay, he did. And then he died. I don't know what that was, but
Well,
yeah, he passed.
he had a heart stent put in, and we all thought he
Yeah,
was
I
doing
know.
good. And then bang,
God.
and then if it hadn't been for Stan Friedman, Peter and Bobby and Tom and I, we would never have met.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. I love Bobby. She was a good friend of mine, and a good writer too. And I'm sorry, she left us. But she called me up when she died. She said, "I'm dead." So I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving. She said, Yeah, she said, "I'm leaving this, passing this along to you." Really? Yeah. And her voice faded on the phone and disappeared. Stopped. And I was amazed. I told my wife. I said the same day. I said, "Well, something happened to Bobby," and I found out that Bobby died. Good grief! She died 2 days or 3 days before. Yeah,
That's amazing.
we.
That's amazing.
Well,
That's what I'm going to do if I pass away before you, Peter. I'm going to call you.
yeah. Oh God, I don't want to think
I'm
about it.
sorry, you guys. I'm trying to find the pictures, those particular pictures, because I don't know if I put them in the UFO file or the Bigfoot file.
They'd
Oh
be
yeah,
in,
you should read my book. Read my
probably
book,
in,
Bigfoot
they're probably,
Files. Yeah, it's
well,
being published now.
No, I'm in my Bigfoot file because you guys don't know. Terry sent
Yeah.
me like
Well, you should read my book, Contact with Beings of Light. That's a good one.
oh, that's,
You'll like
Peter,
that one.
Peter,
Yeah.
I've still got some of the excerpts from the videos, and I had that heart stent put in, so I kind of got behind. But I've got some amazing things off of those videos that you haven't seen yet.
Oh, good. Bring them with
Wait
you,
till you
brother.
wait till you see. Oh, it's gonna blow
Yeah,
your
bring
mind.
them with you. I want to see it. But then again, I've been watching videos for years, and nobody has any proof. They just have snapshots. Well, that's fine. That's how you prove something exists. But at the same time, when you're going to talk about it, talk about what they are. They're not going to hurt you. They could, if they wanted to, they could take over the world. You know, I mean, they could, just like that. But they don't. Why?
So you
People are
feel pretty
violent.
confident about that.
Yeah. People are so violent. I mean, you know, they don't want to have anything to do with us because they're afraid they're going to get shot. They're right. They probably will, because these fools get a rifle and shoot before they do anything else. Well, get sane, get real, talk to
You
them.
know, today it's 10 times worse than it was
Yeah,
back in the
yeah, yeah.
70s. I
I
mean,
talk to them every day,
people are
every day.
just people are
And
just insane today. You know, Peter?
Wow. Yes,
you know,
yeah.
excuse me, Chris, like what Peter's saying, a lot of these Bigfoot hunters, they like carry guns and they want to shoot one to prove
That's
it's
it.
there. We never took any
No,
weapons at all because
no.
what you know what we noticed? If
Hmm.
you took a weapon out there telepathically,
Yeah,
intuitively, they'd pick up on it ahead
yeah,
of time and they wouldn't
they
be
do.
around at all with
Yep.
people like that.
They would know. And that's where it's like, oh, you can't prove it because you don't have pictures. It's like, don't you think they're ahead of the game here?
Yeah,
I'm like, they're a little bit more involved than we are. I know that you might think they're not, but they are. We're the
yeah. Well,
violent, crazy
I've got an
ones.
old
Okay.
picture of Dorothy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, well, I do.
What?
I love Dorothy. She was my friend, and I liked her a lot. She was a real special woman, I must say. And I
It's
think
not this
women,
picture, right,
I think
Terry?
oh, there's an interesting one. Peter, look at this
women.
picture.
This is not the one.
Okay, women will someday control the earth.
Okay, I
That's
totally agree
what
with him on that. Go ahead.
I think.
I don't
Well,
want it. I don't want it.
yeah, I know. It's all right, honey. You don't
Peter,
have to accept it, but
Peter,
Tell
look
us
at
about
I
this
this.
pic before we're gonna go back to Bigfoot, but yes,
okay.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, okay.
All
Peter,
right.
look at the picture that's on the screen right now. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah. No, the
Well,
tracks are real. They've been around for a long time.
this picture was taken in a cave where Elaine and I had gone. We finally found the cave after looking for about 10 years, and they found the cave by scraping off the front of a mountain. So we went in with our iPhones and took pictures inside the cave. We couldn't see this thing until the pictures came out, and lo and behold,
Yeah,
here was
I
this
know, baby.
thing.
Oh, let me tell you, you don't want to play around with them because they're big and they're bulky, and they will never hurt you, but they can get, a little peeved if you when you shoot at them.
Self-defense, right? I mean, anybody, I'm not a violent person, but somebody comes at me or my family and I'm shooting back. So
Yep.
you can't blame them for defending themselves. We're the ones that come in packing.
Yep, that's right. But that's not necessarily an excuse to fire a gun. And you can kill somebody with that way. And as what happened to Charlie Kirk recently,
Oh,
boom, and you're dead.
Mhm.
that's
God,
Exactly. So I am
that's a
okay. I'm
terrible
gonna
thing.
just keep going with the Bigfoot pictures, Terry, because I'm just going insane trying to find
yeah,
one of
go
them.
ahead, brother.
So I
Just
don't I don't want
just
to I don't want to mess things up, and I want you to play the next Bigfoot sound. Our
okay. I've got
folks on
let
chat love Bigfoot sounds.
Okay, let me play one here now for you. I think I'm on the next one. Here you go.
Okay.
Addendum to file. Entered May 1979. Snohomish County, Washington State. Cries of mysterious origin, allegedly of Bigfoot, and recorded over a period of 2 years, beginning 1977 through 1978.
That's what I heard. Wow. No, they're real. Yeah.
That's
You
pretty
know,
intriguing, isn't it?
That's wild.
I remember the time they threw rocks at me. Well, they did. I
Well,
was hiking. Yeah, I was hiking up the mountain, and there were two creatures up on the hill above me, and I didn't know it. One of the persons on my group said, "There's someone up there." Oh, where? And as I was looking at it, they fired a rock, pretty big one too, over my head and hit the tree and knocked the branches down and everything. And they did it a second time. And I thought, well, I think I better get out of here. So I did.
Wow.
But that was the time that they were trying to scare me off, and they did.
well,
You
Peter,
know.
at Sycamore Flats, we had
Oh
some
yeah.
experiences with rocks being thrown at
Oh,
us.
I know. I remember. Yep. I know.
Did
That
they
was
ever
kind of
hurt
Well.
you? I mean, did they ever hit you to the point like being injured? I mean,
I don't think we ever got injured by a rock, but there are some stories about rocks being
Oh
thrown.
yeah. No, they did. They missed me. They went over my head. Boom, boom, boom. But they threw
Yeah,
them anyway, and that was dangerous. For me.
uh,
So I
that's kind
ran
of
out
like
of
their
there. That's when I
warning
ran into a
that we
cactus.
deciphered.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah, I know.
you did not tell me no.
You know, I'm working with a family in Oklahoma right now, and they had been on this ranch for like 40 years, living on this ranch. Well, the husband delivers cattle. Well, the husband
Hmm.
would go away and leave the family, and all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, they had Sasquatch began to scream at them and had never done it before.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Then, then
Mhm.
on top of that, it began to throw rocks at the house, and
Yeah, that
but it
happened
got so
too.
it
Oh,
got so bad that they were
Hmm.
going to sell the house because the wife and kids didn't want to live there when the husband was
Yeah.
away delivering
Yeah,
cattle.
yeah, that's right. Nah, yeah,
But
they do that. And,
but
that's what they did to Ostman, or not Ostman, but the group up in Colorado. They threw the rocks at their house when they were inside and heard the rocks hitting boom, boom, boom. And yeah, they do that from time to time. I don't know why. I think they're trying to scare you off.
is
Usually
that
they succeed at it, you know.
hmm. They
But
is
probably
that
want to
the
protect their land, keep people from building,
yeah, as I
keep the
gag
yeah?
lore
away at the
going.
reality. Huh,
But when you've
yeah,
been there for 40 years as a family, and then was that the family in Grand Junction, Peter? You're talking about?
yep, yep.
That's
No, I know.
I talked to them at one
Yep,
point too.
yep.
Same kind
I
of
know.
story. The same. They stole
Yeah.
chickens. They stole
I,
farm animals, all
oh.
that kind of thing.
Mhm. Yep.
But yet people go, oh, they're not real. You
Yeah.
know.
I know. I mean, just looking at every picture, you had so
Mhm.
many. I'm gonna just keep
Mhm.
going because these were these
Mhm.
sent to you, Terry, correct? These were the ones
I'm
that were
sorry.
sent. These
Why
were
don't you?
sent to you, right? These Bigfoot
Yeah,
pics.
most of them were sent at Bigfoot KBI, Kansas Bigfoot Investigations, either on
Mhm.
Facebook or on Twitter. I've gotten so many, I can't keep track of them all. Why don't you put some of them up and we'll be able to talk about them as you put them up?
Yeah, I'm scrolling through. Do you know this one? I
That's
think this
that was
one
one
was really hard to
that
tell.
That was taken in Washington, I believe, and you can see that kind of reddish-looking critter back in the bushes back in there. And they got that picture. They knew it was back in there. It was making sounds, but they didn't know for sure where it was. So they snapped a picture of it, and lo and behold, when they enlarged the picture, that's what they got. So there's a critter in there. You can enlarge that and see it much better. I didn't
Yeah.
enlarge it. I just said it that way.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Are you talking about this,
Mhm.
like that
Yeah,
part, or that? Yeah, this guy, right?
yeah. Now go for the next one. Now you're doing good. Yeah.
Oh,
See, look at him when you enlarge him. You can see a face. You can see almost like there's another face back toward the back end. You know, it's very interesting.
yeah. There's
What
all
do you think
kinds
of
of
that?
stuff going on in this.
What do you think of that, Peter?
Oh, I don't know what to think of it. It looks artificial. Well, no, it looks real. It looks real. I've seen other photos that do that, and I don't know why they do that, but I think they are either affecting the lens in some way, or they're just on the way out.
It almost,
You
you know,
Oops.
when she enlarges that, the face almost looks like a baboon of some
Yeah,
kind.
yeah.
There's another one. I
This
like
side,
this
that
one.
looks like a baboon. I like this. This is a cool picture right here. What is this? Okay, stop. There we go. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting
Oh,
one
because I
there.
enlarged it too much. Yeah,
Look
what
at that
is
Oh,
face.
second?
Look
yeah,
at
That
I'm
that
is
face.
surprised you don't
crazy, right?
have John
Yeah.
Green's photos.
But look at that
Those
foot.
are good ones. Yeah, that's one of the best ones I've ever seen.
It's not a bad
John
one.
Green.
Not a
No,
bad one.
nope, John
Let
Green.
me go to
Yeah,
the next one.
I know. And um,
This is kind of freaky.
I can't
If
think
I
of
saw
his
that at
name.
night, I'd run.
I'm going.
Now, when you look at the arms on that in
Bob
comparison to the
Gimlin.
length
Yeah.
of the body, that kind of
Mhm.
looks interesting to me.
Yeah, that's got a broad shoulders. Yeah, could
It's
be.
kind of I kind of
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of use the Patterson footage as a measure as to what what the other photographs look like. I kind of use those, and
Yeah,
if it doesn't look a little bit like that, I kind of go, well, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I know. Uh, yeah, I went up the creek and followed the path up there, and all the way up as far as I could, and found footprints up there and some broken trees that were broken off up at the top, and there was some indication that Bigfoot had been there. And I went up there, and well, I don't know, nothing. There was no
Well,
proof of it, just the sighting. But that was
but
interesting.
that's another thing, Peter, that we should talk about is that we have found broken branches up 9 feet above the ground in
Yeah,
various
right.
places.
Yeah,
And
that's
other
right.
places, there are trees that are like 3 inches in diameter, just snapped in
Yeah,
two
yeah,
for no
right.
reason. You know,
I
I mean,
know. Yeah,
can you enlarge? Can you enlarge that
This
black?
one?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
black figure.
oh,
Well,
I
enlarge
know.
that.
Yeah, let me tell you, they are tall, and the thing is, when they walk through brush, they usually knock off a couple trees in the process. But
Now look
they're
at
big.
now look at this, Peter and Tom.
You
Mhm.
know, like you're saying, when we'd find
Yeah,
those trees that had tops broken off, small pine trees, and
yeah,
remember sometimes they'd stick it in the ground upside down,
yeah,
Yeah,
like a warning sign too.
yeah,
yeah. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. We'd
yeah,
Yeah,
come up
yeah,
on things with a 4 inch diameter tree stuck upside down with the roots
yeah.
sticking out at
I've
the
seen.
top.
Yeah, I've seen
yeah,
it.
crazy.
I've seen them. Yep, I know. No
Now
one
what in
can
the heck?
explain it.
Crazy. I'm gonna keep going.
What in the
Mhm.
heck could do that other than something that's as strong as a Sasquatch?
Yeah,
Yeah,
What could do that?
yeah, that's about it. You
you
bet.
know,
I look at the forest totally different. Now when I see branches and I see trees, it's like I used to just take it for granted that they would just fall, right? And they would land that way. But now it's like you really look at the position of this. And it's like
Oh,
I just never looked at them that way before Bigfoot came in.
yeah.
Well, and then
Benny! One of my friends is on chat. Hi, Benny. Good to see you. I'm gonna keep going. Next picture. Here we go. This
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of
Well,
that's kind of interesting.
that looks good.
The face on it is interesting to me.
Mhm.
Can you bring that down a little bit from the top? See the face a little better.
yeah,
There you go. I like the looks of that.
like
That
that.
face looks. Yeah, that's. I like that. What do you think of that, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Panel, tell me. Kelly Lewis.
I know that's the latest trend of Johnny come lately is just to take photographs. But the few photographs I've seen are fairly rare. The best ones I remember were Bob Gimlin and John Green and Bob Titmus. These were some of the best in the business. But the rest of them, I don't know. Maybe they're iffy.
And
If I say so, if I dare say it.
and Chris, another point,
Mhm.
like
No.
most of these other people take these photos from a far distance. And
Yep.
then when they try to blow it up and it gets so fuzzy when it's close.
Yep.
And it
Yep.
looks like that.
That
But
happens.
Peter, do you
Yeah.
remember with the Patterson film, couple points, I knew this Dr. Gideon Ariel. He was one of the top
Yeah.
biomechanics, kinesiology
Yeah.
guys in the
Oh,
world
I
at
went up
Coda de
there. Yeah.
Casa. And
I
we
went up
took
there.
a copy of
Yeah.
the Patterson film. He computer enhanced it. And
Yeah.
he
I know.
said,
I went up there.
you could see the muscles, you could see the
Yeah. I followed
definition,
it all the
you could
way
see
up.
the breast. And he said
Nothing.
that thing was so powerful when it walked
Oh,
in that
yeah. No
sand,
question.
it propelled itself like very
Yep.
explosively.
Yep.
And
No
his
doubt.
opinion, it was totally authentic. And I remember then we took it to what was his name, Bob Baker, the guy that was the top guy for making gorilla uniforms
Oh,
and
yeah.
for movies, right?
Yeah.
Rick
And
Baker. I
costumes and
worked.
stuff.
I
And
worked
this
with
is
Rick. I worked with
what's
Rick
that?
on Harry and the Hendersons.
Well,
I worked with Rick
there,
on
yeah,
Yeah,
on
there's
well,
Harry and the Hendersons.
there's
his opinion,
little
if
doubt that these
somebody made that
photos can be
costume
fake.
in
Little doubt.
1967, it would have cost $10,000 it had that kind of detail,
That's a
and
good
of course,
point right
remember Bob
there.
Gimlin had a rifle on it too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, Rick did the costume for Harry and the Hendersons, and I went in and talked to Rick numerous times about the Patterson footage and all that. And that's kind of he was smart enough to kind of pattern Harry and the Hendersons costume after the Patterson footage.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, maybe. But there are all kinds of comparisons, and the problem is in the absence of proof, 100%, it can all be speculative and questioned. And I always suggest to people don't question, just look. If it looks fake, label it as such. But don't go drifting into one theory after another because all these things begin to make sense. And that's the problem. They don't all make sense, but they do sometimes. And that can foul us up all the way along the way. Be
it's
careful.
so right. Well,
Great
you
point.
and Tom and I have always taken
Yeah.
a second and third and fifth look at
Yeah.
everything that we get, all the information we get. We all, oh no, now wait a minute. We've always looked at it with a
Yeah.
jaundiced eye. But then we'll
Hmm.
go out and we'll find footprints and we'll go, wait a minute,
Yep.
this
That's
this
not
might be
right.
the real deal.
Yeah.
Remember
That's
the
true.
ones that we remember the ones that we found in the river valley
Yep.
down in the river valley near your home, Peter.
Yep.
The San Joaquin River. Well, not the San Joaquin. What river valley was that? Tom, you
I
remember what
don't
I'm
know.
talking about?
Yes,
We
I
Uh,
were,
think so. Yeah.
yeah, when we were down in the river, right around San Bernardino, Los Angeles area,
oh
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's right.
and
You
actually,
remember?
we were there, and Peter was there with me, and we got a picture of Peter's sandal right next to a Bigfoot print.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you argue about that, Peter? You
Yeah,
know?
that's when I got stabbed in the leg by a cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
No,
yeah,
I
and
remember. Yeah, I
he's
remember. Yep.
never he's never recovered from that. Go
Yeah,
on,
we had a
Chris.
lot of experiences there. Yep.
I'm gonna show a picture. The next picture that I'm gonna pop up is disturbing to me. I mean, it's an actual, like, it's a hand. So if anybody in the chat, I'm just
Oh,
letting them know that the following picture it's a little bit disturbing. So if you don't want to watch this, just look away for a minute. But I'm going to show the hand. Is that okay, Terry? Or you want me to skip that?
no, show it.
Is it too
It's not a
much?
big deal. It's nothing
It's
anybody
not. I
should
think
be bothered with.
it freaks me out. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
go ahead and put it up.
tell us about.
Well, this was sent to me, uh, and I've seen it in a couple other places too online. So I didn't pirate it, but
Yeah, that's possible.
that is one that they found up north, and I thought it was rather interesting.
Mhm.
So I included that
Mhm.
in the photographs that I sent you.
Yeah. Mhm.
How many like actual body parts like that have been
Yeah,
found?
doesn't
We
look
talk
too
about
good.
tracks, but how many actual body parts?
Very few, very few,
Mhm.
if any. You know, they claim
And
to have found body parts. They claim to have found an entire Bigfoot, which we think is probably a fake. I think
mhm.
Peter and Tom will agree with me that
Yes.
Iceman probably wasn't real. Uh, but
Yes.
they had it in an exhibit running around all over the country for a while.
Well,
Uh,
the thing is, if you think about it, you can uh, think anything out of existence. I mean, you can't overthink this. You have to look at what is available and draw your conclusions from there. I mean, either they're real or they're not. So somebody's leaving an impression on film, either
Mhm.
consistent with what these creatures look like or not. So that's the only two references you need to make an assumption. They're either right or they're wrong. And I say when the object is questionable, write it off. Don't worry about it. Just go on to the next step, and you'll find the truth eventually.
I think you're
Well,
right. I
like
see that all
Terry's
the time.
saying, they've never really
Go ahead,
found
Tom.
any authentic
No, I know.
skeletons or bones or there's
Yeah, that
so
guy looks
where
like
are they? We found dinosaurs. We found everything. Why
that
is
guy
there
looks
no
like Michael
skeletons?
Jackson.
Oh, why not?
Unless they're
Yeah.
fake
Why
or
all the
something.
tracks? Yeah, keep going with that, Tom, because I want to, what are your thoughts on that? Why no bodies?
Well, wait, Tom, talk about Gigantopithecus in China
Well,
while you're
my
talking.
feeling is, yeah, my thoughts are very simple. Either it looks like Bigfoot or it doesn't. If it doesn't, it's not. And in
Yeah.
this instance, I think it's not, probably something else or some object that appears to be Bigfoot like but is not. That would be my conclusion.
Okay.
So it's
So
up
And
to
Tom,
you.
mhm, yeah.
a lot of
Well,
people
I don't
say
know.
because bears
That
can
was,
walk on their hind legs upright, and that must be a creature. I've seen bears walk
it looks
upright,
like
and it doesn't even look anything like the creatures.
Michael Jackson. I'm sorry. It it doesn't look right to me. So go to the next one.
Peter's
Well,
starting to
the
get
one,
tired.
the,
Okay, can you?
Yeah,
But seriously, I do want to hear about Tom.
that's all right. That's
I do want
good.
to
but
hear something about.
before,
Is it because
bef-
do they
Mhm.
bury the bodies, Tom? What are
Yeah,
you thinking? I
I
mean,
know. Yeah, it's a blow up of Michael Jackson. Go to the
okay,
next one.
stop. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one.
Now
to
go
the
to the
next
next one. All right,
one.
there.
Yeah, moving on. Nothing
Yeah,
to see
okay, now that's
here.
interesting. That could
That
be real.
that
Yep,
looks like, well, the one on the bottom is
yep.
really interesting. The one on the top, I'm not sure what to make of that.
No, I don't know. Well,
This
the
is cool right
interpretation of
here. Yeah.
photos is anybody's guess because there's so many possibilities. And the thing is, if you consider everything, you're going to go crazy. So look at them, draw your conclusions, and go from there. That looks real.
I
That to
love it.
me, that's one of the better ones, Peter. I
Yeah,
like that one a lot.
looks real. Yeah, that does. Yeah,
I
big
would,
back. Yeah,
if you compare that to Patterson's footage,
yeah,
that's what I've got kind of go by. That looks a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
like
Ah,
Patterson's.
that's interesting. Hmm. Looks like my old gym teacher.
Oh wait, I had one
well,
like that too.
I mean, I don't know, but that's
Okay,
interesting.
so what was
That,
about this one, Terry? What was up with
yeah, it could be,
that one?
but the head's a little small, the neck's a little narrow, but could be.
Okay, we're
No
gonna go to the
comment.
next one. We
Yeah,
got
no comment.
so much Bigfoot.
Yeah, no comment. Now
Okay,
that's
there's
No comment on this one?
that's
that could be. Yeah.
Bobby's Bigfoot book. And
Yeah,
on the right, I don't know, Peter. What do you think of that one? I've been wanting you to see this one.
that looks all right. It could be a 4-footer, I mean, it could be bent over, but maybe looks like maybe a leg on the bottom. Uh, could be hunched over because it's trying to escape from witnesses. I don't know.
I
Wouldn't
just
offer an opinion. Can't offer an opinion. No.
Yeah, that one's really
it,
hard because I mean, although that's huge,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
it looks big, but
Yeah.
you just never can't with all of the
Well.
AI out there today. It's even
Yeah.
harder for us to ascertain what the heck is real and what isn't.
That's a
I
good
don't
one
know
on
how
the
we're
top.
gonna get to. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna get to the truth now with AI, but yeah, look at these
Yeah,
guys.
the
Interesting
top
stuff.
picture. That's good.
This is
That
really
now that
cool. Right?
that top one I like, and the one in the
Yep.
lower left was a video that was
Hmm.
sent to me from a bunch in California or in Colorado. The Colorado Bigfoot organization that I communicate with quite a bit. They go out on a lot of stuff. Peter, they're like we used to be. Peter and Tom, they're like they go out into the woods all the time. They make some really good. I think we saw that earlier. I
Really?
sent a couple of
Yeah.
them twice. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think here's some equipment pictures. I don't know why I put them in the middle of this one.
That's what I'm using, Peter, to uh,
Looks good.
digitalize. I'm
Yep.
using that. That's one of the machines I'm using to digitalize
Yep.
the cassette tapes that you sent me.
Looks
Go to
good.
the next. Go to the next one. You'll see my
I don't know
speakers
if
that
I
I
have.
use.
I
Oh,
don't
that
think
is.
I have them in the right order, babe. Because remember, I wind up taking them anyway, not in the right order.
Well, we'll get there when
But
we get there.
yeah, we'll get there. Yeah,
I like this one.
this one. Let me go back. I'm zoomed in.
No, that's possible.
I don't know. It looked.
We're playing Bigfoot, not Bigfoot, chat.
Yeah, but keep in mind some of these creatures are over 10 feet high, so be careful what you accept uh, as being identical because they don't look that high really. Maybe they are, because they're running, but you know they're probably up to 20 feet high at some point. So be careful.
Can you enlarge the face on that, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
You can get some of the
Yeah.
body with it too if you want, but I want to see that face better. I wanted Peter and Tom to see that, and
Hmm.
our people, our viewers to see
Yeah,
that too.
incredible.
Yeah, I found some old pictures of the
Huge.
Cherokee, and there were some giants there among them. Oh, that's interesting.
I love giants. I love giant talk. I've had shows just on giants because I'm just fascinated. It's all so part of the puzzle, and
Yeah.
it's so tied to
Mhm.
Bigfoot. It's like a cousin. You know, they're all. This is all like a big
Yep.
murder board of mysteries.
Well, the
Mhm.
Anunnaki and the fallen angels, they all talk about giants on the earth in those days. So
Hmm.
Yeah,
if
that
you
could be.
believe,
And all the stories mention it, all the
Mhm.
pictures, all
Well,
these paintings, old paintings and
yeah.
petroglyphs have these pictures of the giants.
Well, the
yeah.
Giants,
Nephilim
so,
were
mhm.
pretty small, actually,
Oh,
compared to
there's a
Bigfoot.
good shot. There's Bob Gimlin. That was on the
Oh,
sightings. That was on our
who is
sightings
that?
show, Peter.
Who is that?
That that's Bob Gimlin from the sightings show that we
Oh,
did.
yeah. Okay. I get it. That's
And
the
that's
famous photo. Yep.
well, that's Bob on the bottom, and then Patty is on the top there. And if everybody
Yep.
will notice, if you enlarge
Yep.
that top one, you can actually
Yep.
see that it's got breasts.
It's got boobs.
Yep.
Who
Boobs. Oops.
who is going to put those on a fursuit? I mean, come on, give me a break. You
I
know.
had never noticed that one being so like, hold on. Yeah, that's as hard as much as it goes. But
Now
those are
you see,
boobs.
they're always bent over somewhat, but if you stand straight, they're pretty high, pretty tall.
I think they've all got back trouble like me.
Yeah, could be.
Too much
I
walking in the
don't
woods.
know. Yeah.
Well,
But
Yeah,
you know,
that's an interesting photo because you get a good shot of his face.
enlarge
Yeah,
that, Chris, can
just
you?
that's
Just
as
look
Mhm.
at the
much as
face.
I'm at 500% now. I could try to crop it. Let me see if I can.
But on many of the shots, you can actually
Actually,
see
I'm
the
not
eye
gonna try.
blink.
I'm gonna do that.
The eye is blinking in some of the footage that they have enhanced recently. So I mean,
Large breasts.
yeah, I mean really, give me a break.
Yeah, that does not look like anybody, you know. Anyway. Yep. And then
Well, you
moving
know,
on,
you
next
know.
one. Sorry, back to this. Mhm.
Female.
Oh, there we go. That's Peter was on this shoot, which I was
On
I was very I was
this.
very
Here we go.
upset. I was very upset with the people on that shoot. Anyway, uh, when you look at that photo or look at that footage of
Mhm.
Patty, you can actually see the eye blink on that.
Yeah. Any indication of a zipper?
Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah,
just
right.
kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
kidding. I know.
Okay, so moving on to this
Yeah,
one.
that
You talk about
that looks
this.
real. Yep.
Now that the filming, there you go. That's the footage. That's the photograph
That's the
that
one.
Dorothy Izat took.
Dang, that's the one. Sorry, they're there.
Mhm.
That's in the book. That's in Contact with Beings of Light, and then it's enhanced a little bit, and it's outlined, so you can actually see the little alien sitting there, and you can see the Sasquatch that they told Dorothy that they
Yeah.
transported. Peter's got a
Yep.
better story. Fill him in,
Yep.
Peter.
That's right. That's what Dorothy saw, and she uh, l- printed it out so we can see it there. But it's visible. Yeah. But there's another photograph there with all the beings, human beings, going up to heaven. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's that lady in white. I sent her that. I
Oh
think.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
think I
like
sent
that
you
one.
that.
Love this right
Yeah.
here.
I liked it. Yeah.
Well, I know. I
Lady
know. I
in
sent it. I know. I sent it to you
white.
at one point. I don't know if I sent it this time or not.
The
But
one
the
with
lady in white.
the people, oh,
Yeah.
the lady, those are amazing. The Dorothy Eisen,
Mhm.
that's in the Dorothy Eisen files that I have.
Well, I can see the response now from most people because it looks just like blotches of light. It doesn't look like anything firmly physical. It just looks like blotches. And that's
It
the
looks,
problem. Yeah.
yeah. But to explain to our audience, so what we're looking at here, so
Well,
Dorothy,
maybe.
people might
Yeah,
not have
some.
seen the original
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Dorothy,
yeah,
I said saw this, right,
yeah,
Terry?
yeah.
This is
Some people might react that way, but we'll see. Let's see what else we got.
You know, Chris,
yeah.
there's another point that Peter and Terry know. There's ancient Chinese folklore and ancient American Indian folklore, like with the Hopi Indians.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But they believe these creatures have been here for millions of years,
yeah,
whether the aliens use them like a workhorse or whatever, but they say they're like the protectors of the planet.
yeah,
And they can't become evolved spiritually until the whole human race becomes evolved. And very
yeah,
similar Chinese and ancient Hopi and American
yeah,
Indian legends about it. Remember?
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, yeah,
I
and Peter,
remember.
Dorothy had a good line on that with the. She called them the Watchers, kind of. They watch, but they don't get involved. The the light beings, Peter.
Oh, I've seen the light being. They're real.
Those they they we were out, Peter and Lazita and my wife, and I don't know who else was there. We were leaning back on the chairs at the at Big Rock campground, and we were. It was like a strobe light was 100 feet above us that flashed on the entire campsite, and it was like, oh my gosh! And Peter goes, "The light beings are here." And that's what they do ordinarily.
Yep.
But when you see, and you were asking about this picture, they allowed Dorothy to take her camera onto the UFO, and this is where she got the photo of the Sasquatch on the UFO with
UFO.
the
Yep.
little alien there.
Yep.
So she actually had her camera on the UFO. How
Yeah.
often do
She
you
actually
how
did.
often how
Yeah.
often do you how often does that happen, you know?
Yep. Yeah, she's got some photos of her take that she took inside the UFO. That's interesting.
Okay,
I've
so I'm
I've
gonna do a time check real quick. We're at an hour and a half. How are we doing here in the panel? Peter, you're doing okay? Hanging in there? Feeling
Yeah, I'm
okay?
okay, honey. Yep.
You're okay. If you get tired,
I'm
you
I'm
let us know,
surviving.
buddy. Okay, if you guys get tired, let us know. We're gonna go through some more pictures, and then we want to hear some sounds. Do you have any more sounds
Yeah.
over there,
Well, I
I've
could sit here
Terry
for a
Albright?
little longer. Yeah. I
And
should
I've got
probably close it down pretty soon, but yeah, I'm fine.
I've
no
got 10 or
problem. Yeah,
15
just let
more
me know.
cries. Okay, here's a cry, and if I need to run it forward a little bit, I will. Here we go.
Mhm.
Copy this. They say the noise is about half a mile away.
Let me run it forward just a little bit to a scream. Get by the talking.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
There's some coyotes in there. They're howling too. That's good enough for that one. I can run it forward and find some more that are a little more distinct.
That's creepy. That sounds like a haunted house for sure.
Well, yeah,
That's
but you're
insanity.
hearing some coyotes in there that are excited
Mhm.
by the Bigfoot screams. And so it's you kind of have to listen to distinguish between the Sasquatch usually has a little bit lower resonance, and there are some where you can hear a real huge difference. Some you can't hear as much difference, but a lot of times we'll be out and we'll get the coyotes will start howling, and then something else will holler. So yeah,
That's
it
crazy. We get
oh
coyotes out
here
here, and I'm like trying to listen in on what they have to say. So tell us about this picture.
Peter's gonna love this. Peter, do you remember this? We took this above JPL.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, I took that picture right over JPL. JPL. Matter of
Yeah,
fact,
that and
the creature
that's
was.
when
Yeah, I
yeah
know
we
the
spur,
creature was. Yeah, standing right on the edge of a cliff, looking right over at JPL at their test center.
yep.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of the woman's name. She was a wife
Oh, I can't.
to the
No.
was it Barry or what was the wife's name? Anyway,
Oh,
Mm,
it's gone. I've been so removed from these that I can't remember now. But yeah, it
anyway,
was.
but this thing supposedly came running down the road, kind of in a
Yeah.
hop from foot to foot, back
Yep.
and forth down this road above JPL, and then at one point it
Yep.
stepped off,
Yeah, right
and
down to JPL. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
I
and that's
remember.
when it made that footprint. And if you look next to that round cast, that
mhm.
is a Sasquatch butt print.
Mhm.
Sasquatch booty, people. We have
Yeah.
Sasquatch booty line for
Yeah.
it right here.
Yeah.
There was a couple up Northern California, up around the Bluff Creek area, and they were fishing, and they looked down the stream, and here was this Sasquatch sitting on the riverbank, and they watched it for a little while, and pretty soon it just got off and didn't run off. It just kind of strolled off. So they went down where it was sitting, and they cast the Bigfoot butt, the infamous Bigfoot butt.
Bigfoot butt. That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And if you enlarge that, you can actually see the fur. I don't want
Uh,
to call it hair, sounds too crass. Just call
yeah.
it butt fur.
Butt
Yeah.
fur. Butt fur.
Yeah.
Okay, let
Bigfoot
me go to
arch.
the next.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's an arch.
Okay, and then here's. I
This
love
is a
this
Oh.
picture. I had to include that.
That looks like somebody I know.
this was from
Who is
our
that?
that's from our
Oh.
sightings. That's from
Yeah.
our sightings show up north.
Oh. I don't
And
know.
when
That mustache looks creepy. No,
this
I'm
woman
kidding.
this woman this woman
Ah,
had seen a family of them,
yeah. All right. Well, my
and
friends, I'm gonna bez off because I'm
Okay,
tired. And
yes. So
yeah.
everybody, I want to thank you, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us,
Oh,
my
you're
friend. It
welcome,
is
darling. You are
absolute
welcome.
pleasure.
Yeah.
And thank you, your wife, for helping set everything up. And God bless you. And we'd love to hear back from you. So we'd love to
Yeah.
have you anytime.
All right, darling. Be well.
You too. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
oh,
Appreciate
Thank
it.
well,
you.
we'll keep him on a hook for you.
Yeah. Give me a
Yes.
Peter,
call.
Peter, we
Well,
love you. We'll
Soon.
see you later. We'll
Okay.
love you,
we'll see you
Peter.
later.
All right, brother.
Bye. Okay, so that was Peter Gatilla. So now it's down to the three of us. Terry, Tom, and myself. So Diane's like, great show. We're not done yet, Diane. It's just Peter had to go because he goes to bed a little bit early. So I'm gonna move on to the next because I'm probably
Look at
gonna wrap up in the
look
next
at
20 minutes. Is that okay,
look
you
at.
guys?
I wanted you to see the one in the lower right. Let the people to see
Oh, this
that.
one.
That's
This.
a fun one. No, the
I
one that you
love
just
this
yeah.
picture so
Look
much.
at
I know I was
look
like zooming into this picture.
look at the one on the lower right. Tom, I don't think you've seen this. That's me and Lazita and Bob. That
Yeah.
that was taken up. I think probably Peter probably took that. That was up in the Buff Creek area when
Oh
we
yeah,
were
That's so
when
cool.
when
Range
we were
animals,
all.
strange animals.
That's when I was skinny and good looking.
yeah,
That is
Well,
Terry Albright, you guys.
I don't know about the good looking part, but I was at least skinny.
yeah.
Ah, you're good looking. Come on, just take
Now
it.
there's
So this picture is interesting.
now if you zero in behind him,
Hmm.
that dark spot, there is a
Yeah, I
Bigfoot.
took it shot here. This
They could
one.
not see that. They did not know it was there until they printed the picture, and then they enlarged it and looked, and there was the Sasquatch standing there behind, looking over the shoulder of the Sen. So I
Here's
thought that was
okay.
pretty good.
Of that one, this is probably one of my favorites right here.
Oh yeah. Well, of
Yeah.
course, on the right is the Yeti print. That was Eric Shipton's up in the Himalayas, and then next to that is a Bigfoot print. That was probably Willow Creek. I think I lose track of where in the world we got these. That's Willow Creek, and if you look beside the Bigfoot print, the big one, there is a small print there, a little
It's a
Sasquatch
baby
print,
foot.
uh,
Baby. It's a
baby Bigfoot.
baby. It's a baby
Now,
Bigfoot.
now
Yeah.
here's a fun story. We were
Hmm.
all up in the Laos camp up above Willow Creek, getting ready to go on the hike up to the Patterson site. And we had been out looking at what we call high flyers in the night sky. These things will fly about, and they look like lightning bugs, but they're in orbit. So we were all out
Hmm.
the night before because it's so the night vision is so incredible up there. You can see everything. Well, so we'd
Hmm.
been out walking over this road all night long, and we come out in the morning, first thing in the morning. There
Hmm.
were no children around anywhere. We were 30 miles from any place, and we were back on this road, and we were clear up by the bridge that where they got the first Bigfoot prints that
Hmm.
were around the bulldozers. So we were up there, and lo and behold, we walked out, and here was an absolutely perfect tiny footprint, just like that one you're looking at, on the road in the fine dust. And there's no way it could have gotten there without being walked on the night before. It had to
Oh,
have happened
wow.
after we went back to the tents. So that was
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite remembrances of being up in Northern California. That was
that's
something else.
really cool. How about you, Tom? You seen any baby Bigfoot out there? Any
Yeah,
prints that you bumped into?
I
Hmm.
had another experience, and Peter knows there's a place in Northern California. It's called Bernie Falls,
Hmm.
and it's kind of eastern Northern California, a beautiful falls. But by Mount Shasta, there's so many volcanic flues and caves up there, tons of cave, and where the lava would flow and clear out a whole cavern. So they had this cavern up there by Bernie Falls, and it was like a volcanic flue that was probably a half a mile long, and from 30 feet high to 50 feet wide, and it was fenced off, and they would
Hmm.
take tours through there, the forest rangers. But there was a big forest ranger sign right at the beginning. It says the native Indians believed a Sasquatch lived in this cave. So I went through the tour once, and then I got this idea. I want to go back and go through it at night by myself. No weapons, no light, anything. So a couple of weeks later, I went back. I jumped over the fence, got inside, and I started going through it. It's pitch black. You can't see the hand in front of your face. But after I got about 200 feet in, I started hearing these footfalls. Boom, boom. It sounded like a dinosaur. And first I
Mm-hmm.
started thinking, a bear or something. And I kept going and it kept getting closer, a stronger presence. So I got
Mm-hmm.
about halfway down and I went to the edge of the cave and sat cross-legged and like meditate with my back against the wall and just waited. And this presence of this whatever it was, entity, creature, whatever, went right in front of me by 30 feet, and I could hear it walking, boom, 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 and I could hear it breathing. The breath was so powerful, but the presence was like an elephant, like it was huge, the energy presence. And, I try to think just very loving thoughts and very pure thoughts and
Yeah.
God conscious and,
Uh-huh.
and, it stayed there probably 30, 40 seconds and then turned and left. Now, I don't know if that was a creature. I don't know if it was some entity or something, but it was so huge and powerful. And,
Well,
I went to try to face my fears too, which it was the ideal way to do it, with
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But
well,
maybe it was like the Indians, the Sasquatch passed away or went to another portal and it still existed in that cave because when I went through on a tour, I felt some strong presence still in there.
You
Anyway, that
felt
was
it.
kind of interesting.
You
I
felt
have to,
it.
I have to
Did you
fess
talk?
up,
Yeah.
Tom. I have to
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
fess up,
find,
Tom. I
I didn't
gotta
see any
fess.
tracks there. Not
But you
tracks there,
felt
but
it. But you felt what I'm saying. You felt the feed. You had a feeling when you were
yes,
there, like the presence. Sorry,
yes,
Terry.
very
I didn't mean to
strong.
cut you off, but yeah, that's fascinating.
But
Sorry, Terry. What did you say?
I've got to fess up, Tom. It was me. That was
What's
me.
that?
It was me.
Oh,
It was you all
finally
along.
found out.
It sounds like
But you know
something.
what's interesting, Chris, is
Okay.
that you take psychic abilities, psychometry, whatever, telepathy. You have like there's a sender and a receiver, like a radio, and if you got a strong sender, like 70%, then you just need a receiver 30% to pick up on it. But these creatures, when they put out a vibe and frequency, it's very powerful. Terry knows, very powerful, very
Oh yeah.
strong. And we're all intuitive anyway, so it doesn't take that much to pick up on the presence. I mean, we've been on places before. You feel like the creature's right there looking at you. You don't see them, but they're right there. Maybe like they're looking through another dimension or something. But it's
Mhm.
crazy.
But the,
Have you ever received a message? Have you ever felt like something was watching you and you actually felt like what they were trying to say?
Yes, yes.
Tell me about
yeah.
that.
And you if somebody's somewhat intuitive, you can tap into them. And like Peter was saying, most of them are not dangerous. They just want to be left alone, ignored, whatever. But what I noticed, like in the late 1800s, there were some clashes with Bigfoot, and and a few of the pioneers, the mountainers shot at them and stuff. That's the only time they've been extremely aggressive, or maybe killed a human or something. But the Indian tribes, Terry knows all the major Pacific North Indian tribes. They just thought it was a big tribe, a tribe of giant, hairy creatures, and they traded with the Sasquatch. Once in a while they kidnap a kid or something. If they didn't, they broke a treaty with them. And at one point, I think in late 1800s, there was like a battle between a few Indian tribes and the Sasquatch. And the Sasquatch, of course, won, and the Indians backed off and started obeying them a little bit more and trying to get along with them more.
Well,
Now, go ahead, Terry. Yeah, I was going to interject. Go ahead.
uh, what we
Yes.
do is kind of like the C5. You know,
Mhm.
what happens is that you go out and sensitize, and you will psychically work to draw things into you, like UFO, like alien entities, whatever you're looking for, and we would do that. We've been doing that since 1970. You know, we've been
Right.
doing it long before all of this C5 stuff came out. So it's something, and something else I wanted to tie into what Tom is saying, and I want to kind of clear something up. It'll be good for me to get this out. Uh, when we were doing sightings, I was reading some stuff about Teddy Roosevelt, and Teddy Roosevelt had heard about these outdoorsmen, these woodsmen who had been out in a Sasquatch area. And one of the woodsmen left the camp and left the other one there. And when he came back, the other, the camper that had been left in the camp had been killed by what Roosevelt thinks must have been the Sasquatch that had been around their camp anyway. And people said, "Oh yeah, Albright has this theory that Sasquatch killed one of these people." Well, it's been written up now in several books about Teddy Roosevelt's experiences, and it's been aired on several television shows after I did sightings several years. So
Right.
what I was saying was legitimate. I mean, that literally happened, and so that gives me a chance to kind of clear the air with some of the researchers who have thought I was totally nuts for saying that. But yeah, there were some times when various people back in Missouri, there were problems with a quote unquote Sasquatch tribe that was stealing all of the vegetables of the Native Americans and of the settlers that were there, and they found a mound that was full of human body parts that apparently the Sasquatch had put there, and they had been, as for a lack of a better term, now this is not me saying this is not my theory. This is coming from several different books that I have been looking into about the early history of encounters with Sasquatch and legends of Sasquatch. But there was actually, they actually sent out a regiment, a military regiment, to wipe out these creatures that were causing such problems. So there have been encounters in the past with something, whether it's a Sasquatch or something akin to a Sasquatch, that have been pretty rowdy between
Yes.
humans and Sasquatch. So that kind of ties in what Tom was saying, that there have
Yes.
been encounters. You know.
The
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
Terry's particularly referred to, and I remember it was just recently on that one series about the life of Teddy Roosevelt, what he's referred
Mhm.
to, that Teddy Roosevelt was on a mountaineering trip. He hired a mountain man called Bowman to escort him out there, and all of a sudden they heard a scream piercing the valley, and Teddy Roosevelt, what the heck is that? And he goes, "Wow, that's unearthly." The Bowman said, "I heard that once before." And then he started telling a story where, like 20 years ago, him and his partner, like Terry saying, were out hunting and something started stalking them. And they tried shooting at it a couple times in the woods, but then they made camp. And like Terry says, they came back and the camp was totally torn apart. And then he went off looking for firewood, Bowman, and he came back, and the Sasquatch actually attacked his partner and killed his partner, but he was trying to kill him. And then so Bowman starts running, and the Sasquatch runs after him and grabs him, starts throwing him around, and I think the partner started to get up again, and then the creature turned around, and Bowman claims he took his rifle and hit the Sasquatch on the back of the head and knocked it, stunned it for a second, and then he was able to escape. But then, supposedly, when he was telling this story to Teddy Roosevelt, there were still hairs on the butt of his rifle that he showed this was from the Sasquatch. That's the
Oh,
story, anyway.
Well, that's wild
Interesting.
because that backs up the story that I told on sightings that some people had a problem with. So
Yes.
I appreciate that story. You know, that's good. Um,
Um,
what,
so
the other thing that we probably should mention, I didn't tell on the
Mhm,
last show. Uh,
mhm,
John Green wrote up my sighting in Apes Among Us. That's the book
mhm,
that I've got in the Knott's Berry Farm exhibit over here. Uh, we were out uh, in Knott's in Big Rock Campground. It's right above Sycamore Flats Campground where that thing that Bigfoot had chased Willie Roberman and Brian Goldajarb and those boys down the road. He chased them. They were in a pickup, riding. A couple of them were riding in the back of the pickup, and this thing started running behind them, chasing him down the road up there by Sycamore Flats where we were that night. So here
mhm.
we are in Big Rock Campground with Bobby Slate and Peter Gatilla. And I don't know if Tom was there or not. Tom might have been. Anyway, we decided at about 3 in the morning, after we had heard 4 or 5 vocalizations from something across the canyon. Now, the canyon wasn't very wide. The canyon was only maybe half a mile wide. And it was steep on both sides, so you could hear about anything that would scream in that canyon. So we heard this as like I've been playing these Bigfoot sounds. A lot of the sounds that we heard that night were much like that. Well, we all decided let's go back down to Sleazy's, down down in downtown, down on the Highway 138. We decided to go down there and have some chili, which we always had to wait until after our Bigfoot expeditions to have the chili, by the way. So they all started going down, and I got in my Ford Courier to drive down. Well, as I was coming around a curve that curved around to the right, there was about a 9 foot tall creature standing behind a bush, and it had what looked like gray tipped hair on its body. And
Hmm.
I, my lights came around the corner, and as they came around the corner, it hit this critter right, uh, right in the face, basically. And when
Oh,
it did that, it literally leapt across a 2 lane highway.
wow.
It didn't quite go high enough because as I was sliding sideways, the back end of my Ford Courier hit some part of its body. I don't know if it was a
Mm,
leg or if it was a hip or whatever it was, and it really shook my whole truck. Well, it went down over the edge, jumped about a 15-foot high cliff, went down over the edge. There was a boulder strewn canyon that was about 100 yards wide. Those boulders were 4, 5, 6 foot in diameter, and it literally ran across that entire canyon like a sprinter. And then it
wow.
got across the canyon and it went up a 45-degree incline like a sprinter. And
Mhm.
this was all right there where the sighting had been previously, and it was all right by Devil's Punch Bowl, which is where numerous sightings have been over the years. So uh, that was the sighting that John Green talked to me about and wrote up in Apes Among Us. So I think it's in Track of the Sasquatch as well. So
Yeah.
so it was legitimate enough, and there was enough proof. And I got back down to Sleazy's to meet with the rest of the group, and there was a dent in the back of my Ford Courier.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Ooh. Ooh. There we go.
There was,
Interesting.
and what we were not aware enough at that time
Hmm.
to look for hair samples to see if we could get any DNA. So we didn't do that. But there had to have been some hair samples on the side of my truck. I wish I'd have known better in those days. We were just neophytes. We didn't. This was back in the early '70s, so we didn't have the DNA knowledge that we have now. you know. And one last real quick thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we've all been looking for DNA for years. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now they're able to extract DNA samples from water sources in the areas where there have been Bigfoot occurrences. So
Interesting.
we have actually, I've talked with several different ones that, like John Green included, before John died, and we have actually found DNA of not a man, not an ape, but somewhere in between. So,
So you
and
so that has been found. Yeah,
yeah, it
interesting.
has. And one of the guys who just was a person that I talked to all the time was Jeff Meldrum, who just recently passed away. Jeff
Mm-hmm.
has been on about every show you can think of. He's got I don't know how many footprint casts he must have, but he must have 1,000 of them. And
Mm-hmm.
we used to talk all the time about, and I used to kind of harass him about the butt
Mm-hmm.
on Patterson's Patty, Patterson's Sasquatch, that it always looked weird to me. Well, we talked about that numerous times, but he said that there had definitely been DNA found in water sources in areas where Sasquatch has been seen. So we're getting closer and closer to finding actual scientific proof that Sasquatch is out there. We just laid our
Finally.
hands haven't laid our hands on one yet, you know.
No, I'm so glad that now we're going to have the science to be able to do some of this. Because, I mean, you look at all these pictures and you look at all these different cases, and people don't make this stuff up. This has been going on, for a long time. It's like this. There are
Well,
there are neighbors, there are peers here. They're like, they share the planet with us,
well,
in a
and
weird way.
we've
Maybe
been,
just
we've
because we can't perceive them right. You
the
know.
And
human race has known about them since the probably the
Mhm.
1700s, but at least the 1800s. Tom, what were you going to say?
Yeah, Tom, tell us.
yeah, and you guys know, I mean, there's like sightings on every continent. Every continent has their own kind of style or species of the creature. Look with the Himalayas with Yeti and Australia, Yowie. I mean, South
Mhm.
America. I mean, there's sightings all over. Alaska. Every major continent has sightings of these creatures for thousands of years. And I mean, I don't. I remember. Uh, Peter knows. I heard about 30 years ago in Texas they uncovered a fossilized brontosaurus footprint,
Mhm.
and right in the middle there was a Bigfoot footprint. I mean,
Oh, really? I didn't.
yeah,
Yeah, I
millions of
wasn't sure if
years
you
ago.
knew
Now,
about that
where did
case.
that come
That's
from?
interesting. Yeah.
Yo, yeah, that
So,
was in a creek bed, and there was a whole line. They've actually found a couple different places where they've found uh,
Yes,
dinosaur prints and human footprints alongside. But the
right,
the
right.
Bigfoot one is the Bigfoot one is more interesting to me. You know, Tom.
yeah.
Yes, but this was a Bigfoot one, and then, Terry knows too. There's been a few sightings where there was like a supposed UFO landing and
Yes.
a circular burnt area, and there was Bigfoot tracks leading off from it. And then
So you
Terry
see a
knows there's like a
connection between all this, right? You see a connection between Bigfoot and UFOs.
yes, and there's
Oh, it's
like
there.
a five-toe one, and Terry's seen many of them to both of us. And there's a three-toe one,
Mm.
Well,
so another different species, kind of.
there's a story.
Mhm.
Uh, there was a fella, a man in I think it was in Washington. I know I've got the story documented. The guy was in his cabin and he
Mhm.
heard what sounded like a UFO. So he goes, "Well, I got to go out and see what this is." So he goes out, and here are the tops of these 100-foot tall pine trees swaying back and forth, and
Yeah.
this UFO is hovering above. And he's like watching this UFO. This is amazing, and lo and behold, out of this UFO comes the Sasquatch.
Yes.
And he stands and he watches this, and this Sasquatch literally walks right by the guy. He walks 20 feet in front of the guy out of this UFO. So now, after all of these stories that we've had about UFO and Bigfoot, and like I said, Peter and I were both talking to Stan Friedman about UFO, and Tom too. I mean, Tom was always there. I don't even have to say it. Tom was always there. So we were talking to Stanton Friedman, and Stanton goes, "Don't trouble me with more than one enigma at a time."
Yes.
You know?
Oh, that was his response to try to the correlation. He didn't want to. He
Yeah,
didn't want to deal with Bigfoot on top
yeah,
of
but
UFOs.
later on,
Mm-hmm.
I know Stanton because I talked to Stanton several times when he was going through his heart issues and all that. He was up in Canada by that time, and we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about the heart issues, and we finally would get around to the UFO Bigfoot thing, and he
Mm-hmm.
started to come around to where he was open to it because he had probably heard so
Interesting.
many stories by then, you know.
Right.
So
Well, it's. I mean, it's a big. You on top of UFOs, you throw in Bigfoot, and most people just like, oh, I'm out. That's just too much. They just can't handle it. But it's because they don't look at the details. But, but Tom, I want to ask you something. So we were talking about, you know, things in cave paintings, and you know, the fact that Bigfoot, seems benevolent, but has there been, I was starting to think, I always remember seeing cave paintings of, you got the humans attacking or defending themselves from this big creature, but I don't remember it ever being like a Bigfoot against human. Like, I don't remember, I would have thought that they were so dangerous. That would have been
Well,
like something they would draw about, right? What?
I think it was more with the Indian tribes when I
Mm-hmm,
interviewed a few Indians and shamans about the
mm-hmm,
history,
mm-hmm,
and there was they were trying to get along with the creatures, but then like the white men and Indians, the whites always broke the treaty, so they had
mm-hmm,
kind of a understanding too, and sometimes the Indians would break the treaty, sometimes the creatures would break the treaty, and then to counter that they'd kidnap a kid or something, it's so amazing. They almost act like humans in a way with that part. And of course,
mm-hmm,
I mean, I heard there was one real battle, late 1800s, with a lot of North American Indian tribes and the creatures to get that settled, and of course the creatures won, because they won a certain territory too, you know.
well, you see on the cave on so much cave art, you see
mm-hmm,
numerous five-toed prints, large five-toed prints in the cave paintings. So
mm-hmm,
I mean, they weren't just the Native Americans didn't just draw whatever they felt like. They drew things that they saw in their surroundings. They
Right.
mm-hmm,
dealt with that all the time. So everything they drew had to do with their life. It was like telling the story of their life on the
mm-hmm,
cave walls. So you
mm-hmm,
see all the time, you see tall creatures, you see five-toed creatures with giant feet. So
mm-hmm,
I have no doubt in my mind that these creatures were around. Now, whether
mm-hmm,
they were a holdover from the Anunnaki, whether they were fallen angels, I don't know exactly what to make. Whether they were from another planet, they were brought here
mm-hmm,
by UFOs. Because when you see Dorothy Isaac's photograph of a Bigfoot on a
mm-hmm.
UFO, it makes you think, well, wait a minute, maybe they've known about the Bigfoot all along. So I think it's totally feasible that we're dealing with a species that is not originally from this planet because of the size. So you talk about
Yes.
the Anunnaki, the fallen angels, all
Mm-hmm.
of that. all ties in. And they were giants on the earth in those days. All of that ties in to me. Tom?
One point to capitalize what Terry's saying, Chris, is that
Mhm.
nowadays with AI, they've been able to decipher certain old scriptures on rock that we couldn't decipher before. And we're finding out a lot about, like the Anunnaki, that we didn't know before. Anunnaki were the first supposed aliens that occupied the planet, and like 450,000 years ago,
Mhm.
and they had very high level capacity, technology, everything. And there's stories with them that they had a creature that they brought here, and they were like the workforce because they were so strong and powerful.
Mhm.
And the story goes with they had a planet Nibiru, but the atmosphere, like just like our movies,
Mhm.
there were a lot of radiation was getting through, and they found that Earth had a lot of gold. So they were mining a lot of gold for years because of the condensation, and they would put it in. They were trying to save their atmosphere and would put the gold out in the atmosphere in their planet. And
Mhm.
supposedly they were using a similar creature like Bigfoot to do that because they were so powerful in the caves. And there's even evidence in South Africa of some of these before. And then when they left, they took some with them, but they left a lot of creatures here just to exist on their own. So
Mhm.
that that's they could have been here a long time, like they're saying.
Well,
Yeah, and I think they have been. Go ahead, Terry.
if they have survived in the wilderness, which is it's not surprising to me that they want nothing to do with us. I mean,
Yes,
they want to be as far away back in the woods as they can possibly be.
Mhm.
And because of so many things that have happened to them, where humans are concerned, they've been shot at, they've been warred with, they've been uh, made fun of. They were making fun of them for having big feet. So I mean, it's been years, centuries maybe, that they have been here, and somehow some part of these creatures has managed to survive. I really feel like that's what we're seeing. But then we're seeing the connection to UFO. So I think that tie is still there. I think it's still strong. So let's see what happens. I got a feeling that we're going to learn an awful lot about the creature, about UFO, about everything that we've had questions about in the next 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny, Ben, I was just thinking this. They don't want anything to do with us. Yeah, I mean, number one, it's like you think about these I have 2 points. So we have these you have these tribes, right? They're hidden in the Amazon, and there's a reason, right? They're hidden and they're isolated, but they're pristine. They're not, they're within their own and they can control that, right? Until somebody comes in and attacks that. I can see where Bigfoot would be the same way. They don't, I mean, we probably lower their vibration just by being around them. I mean, if
You
that's what it comes down to, if they can sense like the tension and all the luggage that we carry on a daily basis
right.
of the pressure and the social media and the ugliness and toxicity, who's going to want to be around us? We usually want to
Yes.
get away from those people. Bigfoot probably wants nothing to do with us for more than just protection. We're just yucky to them. I mean,
Well, yeah,
but
that's we talked about that the last time. We talked about trying to raise our frequency.
hmm
Well, we better get our frequency up because we're going to be stuck in the mud for centuries if we don't. And we're
Mm.
just doing
hmm
the worst possible thing we can do. We are becoming violent. We've got murder on the mind. We are terrible people right now. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on with all of the different bipartisanship. Every place you turn, everybody hates Trump. And
hmm
that's just such a low vibration for the entire planet. we just can't continue doing this because we're never going to get out of the ground. We're going to be out of the mud. We're going to be getting stuck in the mud for centuries to come. And I
Yeah,
can
we.
see why Sasquatch, when we go out, that's why we clear. We get all of that crap out of our minds, and we
Mhm.
totally let our minds coast and open and relax. In fact, there's a religion that Peter is involved with called Subud. And in order to
Mhm.
be involved in Subud, you have to be opened. And when you're
Mhm.
opened, it means that you are aware of these psychic conditions that exist in the human. And
Mhm.
it's all about trying to raise your vibration. And the person who was initial in starting Subud was Bapak,
Mhm.
and Bapak
Mhm.
was lifted to an upright position from his bed, and he literally vibrated the entire night. And when he awakened in the morning to awakening state, he had all of this information, all of this knowledge about this religion called Subud, which he started. And so these
Mhm.
people walk and they talk and they sensitize like we do when we're on a Bigfoot search, and they walk around in a circle and they sensitize and they open themselves to what's going on, and they try through that process to raise their vibration so they
Mhm.
will not be stuck in the mud of humanity. Make sense?
That makes sense to me. Tom, okay, I'm gonna start wrapping things up because I am starving. I don't know about you guys, and we're at
Okay.
2 hours or 18 minutes. So what, Tom? Your thoughts, your kind of parting thoughts on Bigfoot, telepathy, UFOs,
Okay.
the shift. Just talk.
Yeah.
I want to hear. Mhm.
Well, Peter, Terry, and we've always looked at the whole thing, not like a lot of science, just looking at one dimension, one part of it, a physical beast. We I always try to look at the whole big picture. How does Bigfoot, how does UFOs, how does aliens fit in the whole picture of God, consciousness? Where does that fit and why? And why is it here in the first place? So, it's always better to look at the overall big picture first and how everything balances each other. I mean, just look how incredible the universe is balanced. Do you know that, for example, the dimension of the moon, right?
Mhm.
How many dimensions of the moon are from Earth to the moon? You know what they say? There's 108 moons from here to the moon, dimensions of the moon. And then you take the sun, this diameter of the sun, 93 million miles or whatever light years, right? How many dimensions of the sun from Earth to the sun?
Mhm.
108. How can that be? 108.
The
The
number
Same
same
is.
thing.
the,
How
the,
perfect that is.
the
And
I know
same
the
as the
there's a,
moon.
geometry is crazy. The numbers, the
yeah.
numerology, the
And
all of it makes
another
sense.
example, if you take the Sanskrit Upanishads, a few thousand years ago that were written, they have prayer beads. It has
Hmm.
108 beads on one necklace. Why? How did they know? Why did they
Why?
make it 106,
Yeah,
109, 10, 108? Weird.
they knew.
So
They.
that,
Yeah, and
you know,
and you think about it. You think about how in the world were they aware of all of these dimensions, like the pyramid and certain certain other Egyptian sites are so accurate in
Mhm.
depicting the distances between the sun, the circumference of the earth, the distance between the moon and the sun, the circumference of the moon. Tom, you're talking my language.
That's.
exactly. And look at like a lot of these pictographs, NASCAR planes. You could from the ground you can't see anything, only from the sky 1,000 2,000 feet it looks like figures and directions and everything. How would these primitive people know that? You know,
Yeah. It
I mean,
it
how does aliens and all the different species of aliens coming here? How does that fit in with the whole picture of God? Take
Mhm.
fundamental Christians. Oh, all UFOs, aliens. That's all demons, demons. But you can't think black and white. There's a lot of gray area and everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead,
I've
Terry.
had people. I've had people go, "Oh, I will not look at UFOs because they're all demonic." Well, yeah, right. But there are also UFOs that are as solid as a Volkswagen. So I've
Mhm.
talked to people about the demonic aspect of it, and I have to believe that there is probably some aspect of that, but but there are also craft that leave impressions on the ground. They
Mhm.
they interact with space and time. They move through space and time, and they create ripples. So I
Mhm.
just can't believe. I'm like Tom. I can't believe that it's all demonic. I think that there is. It's just not black and white. There's like a lot of gray area there that we haven't
Mhm.
considered.
Yes, yes, and another point is that
It's
like a Bible's great, everything, but there's stories how Jesus was interconnected with Anunnaki too. There's all kinds of stories like that if
Mhm.
we go way back in history. And they claim they found one of the Ark of Covenants, right? And
Mhm.
when it was under in Israel, and where they found it, a guy named Ron Wolf, archaeologist, totally top secret,
Mhm.
and it was found 50 foot below in a cavern in a cave under where
Mhm.
the cross was Jesus was. And there were some
Mhm.
dried blood spots on the Ark of Covenant, and they'd scraped it. They did a DNA. And we have what
Mhm.
23 chromosomes, 46, whatever, right? This had
Mhm.
24 chromosomes. They suspected, like when that Roman speared Jesus's spleen, and with the spear he bled, and liquid blood went down the cross. And remember, there was the earthquake right at that time, and it went down
Mhm.
to the crevasse. And supposedly, if this ark was there, that could have been Jesus's blood and had 24
Oh, wow.
chromosomes. It wasn't exactly like a 23 chromosome. It was a little bit
Mhm.
different. So if that's another interesting story.
Well,
Yeah, there I
all of
mean,
this
there's tidbits like that everywhere. Go ahead, Terry.
And all of this ties in to all of the research that we've all been doing for years and years and years. There are interdimensional type creatures out there that are probably Bigfoot. There are other
Mhm.
interdimensional creatures out there that may be Dogman. There are other interdimensional creatures that may be aliens who are coming in
Mhm.
interdimensionally and possibly from our past or our future and working with
Mhm.
us.
Yes.
That may be we may be seeing beings from our future. That's might be what we're seeing when all these UFOs are being spotted. So there's so much that we have yet to discover. And I've got a lifetime of discovery ahead of me. Hey, do you want to hear
Yeah.
before we go? Do you want to hear another Bigfoot
Yeah.
scream or two? Okay,
Yeah,
let's
go
let,
ahead.
let's
Yes.
do another. Let's do another one or two, and then we'll start signing off.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
This is what. Just so you know, this is about half of the cassette ahead, and
Mhm.
there are 10 different Bigfoot screams from different areas, 10 different areas on this. So you're
Mhm.
hearing different areas of the country each time. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, cool. Mhm.
I like that one. Now, something I want to mention here: um,
Mhm.
99.9% of these cassettes, these recordings, are made 50, 100 miles into the forest from any kind of civilization, where nobody's going to be going out there doing this. I mean, this is stuff that you're hearing that is so remote and is so it, the getting some of this stuff recorded is almost an impossibility. But what's
Yeah.
Mhm.
happened is that these people have heard these screams for years, and they finally decided, we're going to start recording this. And so they will go out into the areas where they've heard a lot of these screams, or they'll go out into an
Mhm.
area where they've had reports that there have been sightings, and they will sit and they will listen for hours and hours. What you're hearing is something that probably took them 3 weeks to get, or a lifetime, actually.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, of
let me run
sitting
it.
there and just waiting, right? Because I mean, you got it.
And excuse me, Chris. Another point,
Mhm.
like what Terry's mentioning, if it's one thing you hear it on audio cassette, if you hear those screams for real across the
Oh yeah.
valley, oh, it's
Mhm.
incredible. It's just spine piercing. You get chills on your spine. It's like a
I can
unearthly
imagine.
vibration, but it's
Well,
almost
yeah.
like they're a signal, a vibration across the valley. This is my territory, like a warning to create a dominant vibration through that area. So all the animals, everything knows the Bigfoot's there, and they won't mess with it. I mean, there's no animal that can challenge it.
Well, there's something else that
Mhm.
I was going to mention
Mhm.
earlier. Uh, in looking into this, I have heard myself, and I have heard other people talk about it, that Bigfoot uses infrasound.
Yes,
That's
Mm.
extremely low frequencies, like whales use,
right,
that will
right.
travel, because the infrasound
Mm.
travels much further than high pitched sounds. So if they're
Yes,
communicating
Mm.
themselves between each other, there's every possibility. And I felt my body has responded to that infrasound. And so
yes,
I think that they probably, not over and above the streams that you're hearing now, I think they're also using, and there's also another aspect of these streams that you're hearing. There is an
Mhm.
infrasound aspect to that is on these tapes. You just can't hear it very well because there's so much else going on, but it is
Yeah.
there. Okay, so
Man.
yes.
that's one thing. Okay, let me play one more quick one, and then we'll start doing our thing.
Then
I'll get
we're
it
gonna
all ready.
wrap it up. But I love this because we need to convert those. We need to digitize all this stuff, man.
Well, yeah, I've been working on it, but I just haven't. When I had my
Mhm.
heart stent put in, it kind of slowed me down a little bit, so I just
No, I
lost some time.
understand.
Okay,
No,
here's
no.
the last one I'll play.
Mhm.
When the Bigfoot screams are going off, you ought to see my two Pomeranians. They're like, "What? What are you doing? What is that?
They
What is
freak
that?"
out.
Yeah, they're like, "What?"
Oh wow.
And you're hearing, it's such a bad misrepresentation, because when you're out there, it's like Tom says, these things just vibrate your whole body. It's like,
Yes.
Mhm.
holy. holy crap, what the heck are we hearing? And
You can feel it. Yeah, it's like
oh,
different than
oh,
any other thing else.
it vibrates everything around you. I mean, it's just like
Right.
totally unbelievable. And the infrasound probably has something to do with it too. So that'll vibrate you on one level, and then the high pitched screams will vibrate you on another, and you're like going, ah! What am I hearing? So
Yes.
I wish you could go out, Chris, with us and hear some of this. You're in Oklahoma, then there's all kinds of stuff down in Oklahoma. You know
Can you
Yeah.
guys
that
hear me? Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say you need to come down. Like you guys need to come down to Oklahoma to Bigfoot country. You can meet up there and like do a show from like, the actual area.
Well, there's a
That'll be
family that
really
I
cool.
There's a family that I was working with in Oklahoma, the one I talked about earlier, who was ready to leave
Hmm.
their ranch that they'd lived on their whole family for 40 years. And they were losing chickens and they were losing pigs and they were losing all of their. They had a 100 foot by 100 foot garden that every time they had new vegetables, all of the vegetables that were ripe would come up missing. And there'd be big footprints all around in the soft dirt. That's in northeastern Oklahoma. So it's not all that far
I
from
need
you, I'm
to
sure.
we'll have to meet up there. So okay, so I'm going to start wrapping us up. You guys, tonight has
Okay.
been amazing. I can't believe we had Peter with us. Tom, I love you.
Yes,
You're
that's
so
great.
sweet. You're just so amazing. And Sati is completely heartbroken that she could not make it. She was trying to like go to town to try to go get connectivity. She lives in the country in Tennessee, and
Right.
there's some bad weather over there. And I've been getting hit. I don't know if you've noticed. I keep freezing because the wind is so bad here that
Oh,
it's like
really?
my
Well,
poor chickens are freezing out there. Yeah, it's bad.
I see.
So.
yeah, but
Mhm.
you haven't frozen up hardly at all. I mean, every once in a while, maybe
Yeah.
for just a few
Okay,
seconds,
good.
but not
Good.
really. I didn't see it
Awesome.
happening very much at all. So
Well, we will have to have you guys back for the third part, which will be, and Sati wanted to do something more on wellness and healing with
Yes.
Tom also. So we'll be talking. But this has been so cool. I hope you guys had a good time. Terry, Tom,
Yes, we
anything
oh
had a
you want to
great time.
say or anything
Thank
you
you.
want to promote on the way out? You're good?
oh no, nothing really. Just that the sightings shows that we did are all on. Uh, there's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of good music being done by me, and Chris will have to play some of that sometime.
Yes.
Any, anyway,
Yes.
we
Totally.
still doing the music stuff. I used to sing backup for Neil Diamond, so I've been around the
I
horn
know.
millions of times, and we were down through Oklahoma all over the place. We used to
Oh,
advertise on KOMA down there when
you need to
KOMA was
come down
playing all
here,
the good
man.
stuff, huh? It's
You need to come down here. Let's go party. You're invited.
yeah.
And there's Timmy. Thank you, Tim. Okay, so I am going to play us off. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Can we catch
Okay.
up
Yeah,
on
let's.
text over there? Okay, because I'm
Sounds
Yeah,
gonna
let's.
good.
I'm gonna run after this and go see my husband and my stepson who's here visiting. So
Okay.
I love you
Beautiful.
What?
guys, everybody.
What?
Thank
What?
you. Go ahead, Terry.
While you're
Okay.
out there
Our
Terry.
running
pleasure.
around, while you're out there running around, go to northeast a little bit further than you are, and say hi to Bigfoot Critter.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Cool. I'll check it out. Love you guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, chat. Have
Thank
everybody a
you.
good night. Peace. See you later.
Okay.
And I'm playing us off
Bye bye.
with
Thank you
the
so much. It was
video.
great.
Bye.
Bye
Thanks a
bye.
Thank
lot. Thanks a
you.
lot.